Darius Phillips, the return man for Western Michigan, he has 4 kickoff returns for touchdowns. 3 of them have went for over 100 yards. He took one back in week 1 against the Trojans out in Southern California, so keep an eye on number 4.
Yeah, dynamic is the word you talk about when number 4 is on the screen. Keep your eyes peeled. And we are underway. 79 steamy degrees a week into October here in Buffalo. You spent a couple of years playing football here in Buffalo with the Buffalo Bills. Do you remember days like this back in your day?
This is perfect football weather. 80 degrees, sunshine. And for John Wasink, he has just been building confidence throughout the season. His first start of his career. How about this? He has to go to Southern California and start in the Coliseum against that defense, top 5 team in the country. And Coach Lester said every single week he's just building confidence, and they're letting them open up the offense a little bit more now.
And the idea is, Tim Lester told us earlier this week, I've seen more quarterbacks ruined by giving them too much early than benefited by giving them too much before they can handle it. So as you mentioned, now they're starting to open up that offense and more downfield passing as they saw last week in the blowout win. First down, they keep it on the ground. And well, there's part 1 of our 3-headed monster, Levante Bellamy.
We talked about how Bogan is probably going to be the starting running back, but they're going to bring Bellamy in because he's dealing with an ankle injury. And so early in the game, they want to get him his carries when he's loosened up and nice and warm. Get that ankle loose.
After picking up 12 yards on his first carry, just 2 that time for the redshirt sophomore from Pike High School in Indianapolis, who Coach Lester hopes, as you mentioned, to get as much as they can out of him in the first quarter and a half, and then really rely on the other 2 as the game wears on.
Yeah, last week they sort of had to shut him down in the second half, so keep an eye on that ankle as we go throughout the first half of this game.
Penalty against the Broncos.
Ball start, number 61, offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
That's the left guard Mike Caliendo, who commits the infraction for Tim Lester. His team comes in 3-2 overall, having won 3 in a row and winning their MAC opener last week over Ball State 55-3. And the reality is this team coming off of just an incredible year last year, 13-1, went to the Cotton Bowl, first MAC championship in decades. They still have a lot of those same pieces back, and while they were picked to finish number 2 in their division coming into this year, I'm telling you, Dustin, this team can compete with anybody in the MAC. On the ground again, Bellamy, big hole, and he's got room to run. It's a foot race to the end zone, and nobody catches Levante Bellamy. A 66-yard touchdown run, and the Broncos get on the board first.
Well, we told you that he was a home run hitter. Well, this one is hit out of the park. How about the burst from Bellamy through the line of scrimmage, as he seems to be favoring that ankle a little bit, but not enough to slow him down from bursting to the end zone. Terrific start for Western Michigan.
Well, apparently the problem with number 5, as much as anything with that ankle and foot, is decelerating.
Yeah, slowing down.
Accelerating. And we saw that on the touchdown we showed in the open from last week, that clearly when he doesn't get tackled into the end zone at full speed, he had to hobble and limp a little bit to come to a stop. Josh Grant, the freshman, kicks the PAT, and there is the man of the hour for the moment, Levante Bellamy, with the 67-yard touchdown run.
Well, that's exactly what Coach Lester wanted to get out of his redshirt sophomore tailback. He knew he probably could only get so many carries out of him early in the game, and so they decided to start him. It's a couple carries on the first drive as we take a look at the touchdown run again.
Yeah, his 3rd of the season, averaging over 7 yards per carry, and I'll tell you, that number's going up.
Yeah, poor tackling there, and Ryan Williamson, the safety, the free safety for Buffalo, takes a poor angle that allows the seam for Bellamy to burst through. That's been sort of one of the bugaboos for Buffalo, is being able to stop the run, and that was a huge concern for them as we talked to the staff this week, is how are they going to slow these guys down. As soon as you feel like you have a handle on one of the running backs, well, they'll just throw another one in the game with fresh legs. So not a great start for Buffalo.
Derek Mitchell, the 30-year-old place kicker on the kickoff for Western Michigan. He spent a decade playing minor league baseball, and he kicks it short. And Buffalo will take over around the 25-yard line. Jacob Martinez on the return. And now we'll get our first look at the understudy, Drew Anderson, who, really 2 weeks ago, after Jackson went down against FAU, came in and guided this Buffalo team to a win. And then last week at Kent State did the same, did what he was asked, and he did it pretty well.
Well, as we talked about in the open, he, I think, exceeded some of the expectations for the coaching staff, and they feel really good. Sometimes when you lose a starting quarterback, your season is wasted. It's done. I mean, the hope is gone. Not for Buffalo. They feel really good about this quarterback.
On first down, gets some air under it, and the big man, Kamadi Holsey, is loose to the 20. Ball comes loose. Is it in play? Here comes Western Michigan back the other way. This is Stephon Claiborne. He's to midfield. What a crazy play on first down for Buffalo.
Oh, it's just a beautifully thrown ball on the outside from Drew Anderson. In stride with Kamadi Holsey. Look at this. Just a fade ball on the outside. Has his defender beat. Got to tuck that football away. Really good job, though, from Sam Beal, who comes in and doesn't give up on the play. That's a fumble. Clearly. Absolutely a clear fumble, and Stephon Claiborne, Johnny on the spot right there, and pick it up, and he thought about taking a knee, and he said, I'm going to return this back to midfield. Here's another look from another angle as Holsey, again, down the sideline. You're thinking, how are you not going to score, at least get out of bounds? But for all you young people out there, young high school football players, never give up on a play. That is clinic quality from Sam Beal.
And good for Stephon Claiborne to continue running down the field as well, so he can pick up the loose ball. This Western Michigan team again this year, very good in takeaways. They are tops in the MAC. Now +6 on the season turnover margin, and that's good for top 20 in the country. Yeah, they harp on it here, turnovers. In fact, one of their mottos is get touchdowns, get turnovers. It seems pretty simple, but that has been the MO of Western Michigan for the last couple of seasons, even back when P.J. Fleck was the head coach. Well, you mentioned the season opener for Western Michigan at USC, 61,000 in the Coliseum, so no stage is going to be too big for these guys. Sam Beal had a huge play in that game, his first career interception, a beautiful juggling grab along the sidelines. And here at Buffalo on homecoming at UB, he comes up with the first big play for the defense for Western Michigan. So just like that, you talk about sudden change situations here. If you're Western Michigan, you got the football back, second possession of the game. Very similar to the way last week started for Western. Do they take a shot here? I would. Well, we've yet to see John Wasink put the football in the air on their first possession. The Broncos ran it as they do. This time it's Jamari Bogan, the redshirt junior from Union, New Jersey, but he is driven back by Ryan Williamson, the free safety. Well, in comes Jamari Bogan, who we thought was probably going to start the game, but they decided to go with Bellamy. And we all know what happened on the last drive. Bellamy probably a little bit winded, so they bring in Bogan for this drive. Well, as a team, Western Michigan second in the MAC at over 200 yards rushing per contest. Wasink on the rollout finds his tight end Donnie Ernsberger. He's become quite a viable weapon in the passing game this year. Yeah, they talked about how the tight end needs to be an impact for the offense, has to play a vital role, and Ernsberger last week had a terrific game, and really every game so far the tight end position has come up with a big catch, especially on third down, and this is a big one early. After the 9-yard pickup to the tight end, triple receivers to the left. Wasink hands it off, big hole, plenty of room for Bogan to pick up a first down. Gain of 5, thanks to the big boys up front. Yeah, easy hole for Bogan. The big fellas led by John Kenoy. Yeah, he's the center. Kenoy, 6'3", 300-pound junior from Kentwood, Michigan. We saw the right guard Luke Jariga, redshirt sophomore from Aurora, Illinois. You can't have 3 running backs who produce as much as these guys do without having guys up front creating those holes. And they got some big hogs. On second down, defended well, but Wasink gets away from the initial push and then slides safely into the 25-yard line. That was Devin Russell, the backup defensive back for Buffalo, blew up that play in the backfield.
Wasick saved himself about 12 yards by spinning out of that would-be sack. It was Devin Russell who got in there, number 12. There's a look at Western Michigan. They're plus 25 in turnover margin. Just an incredible stat. But here, another third down conversion. Will Wasick put it in the air?
Now, Buffalo defensively this year has been stout. Tops in the MAC in passing yards allowed per game. Keyshawn Watson, the motion man. He runs from the slot, pass the other way. Incomplete. The intended target, Dwayne Eskridge. Brandon Williams on the coverage. And this Buffalo defensive secondary continues to play without its best corner man. Its best cover is Cameron Lewis, who suffered a broken thumb against Colgate. He hasn't been back, but they expect him back before the year's out.
I got to say, it's a big stop for Buffalo. It's always tough for a defense. You give up a big play on the first drive, and then your offense puts you in a tough spot here for them to bow up and hold Western Michigan to just a field goal attempt.
Field goal attempt by Josh Grant. 44-yarder for the young 18-year-old who is a very good place kicker. Into the wind. He's got enough foot to make the score 10-0.
Well, an early start for Western Michigan. Off to a fast start with this fast guy, Levante Bellamy, taking it to the house.
Western Michigan, the defending champs in the MAC, off to a quick start here this afternoon in Buffalo. And tonight, the Paul Bunyan Trophy will be on the line at the Big House. Michigan State, number 7 Michigan, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC. Also streaming live on the ESPN app. And I'm guessing that Obi and Carol Jackson, while they love their son Obi, who's a defensive back here at Western Michigan, they are quite likely at the Big House today because Obi's younger brother Tristan is a wide receiver for Michigan State. And back in week 2 in East Lansing, when Western Michigan went up and played the Spartans, the brothers, who have been rivals and best friends since they were born basically, went head-to-head repeatedly. And while the younger brother Tristan didn't make any catches, big brother Obi at least had individual bragging rights. He had 3 tackles in that game. So what would you take? Would you take the win and lesser personal stats or better personal stats and suffer the loss?
Listen, you always take the win, team first, but I heard there was some trash talk going on between the two, and why wouldn't there be? A little brotherly love.
Well, Big Obi says, I love the trash talk between my boys. And again, when you're only 15 months apart, as they are, Tristan, the younger, is a few inches taller, so he's the standout sophomore receiver at State, while big brother is a backup defensive back at Western. He and the Broncos with the early 10-0 lead, and on Buffalo's one play from scrimmage, they had a big play down the sideline to Kamadi Holsey. He just fumbled it and turned it over, and 6th time this year the Broncos have taken the football away. On first down this time, keeping it on the ground for a nice gain by Emmanuel Reed, an emerging star for Buffalo.
Yeah, he has 3 100-yard games the last 3 weeks back-to-back. And look at the offensive line getting a little push, and he is a physical back for a guy who's not very big. They're so happy that he has emerged in the backfield. The thing about Buffalo in the past is they didn't really have playmakers. And so far this season, they have found big-time weapons on the offense. So, getting down 10 points is no problem for this Buffalo offense.
Yeah, this Buffalo team is averaging 10 points per game in the first quarter this year. Last year, they scored a total of 10 points in the first quarter. Wide open down the middle. Jacob Martinez to the house. '65-yard hookup, second big play for the backup Buffalo quarterback.
A little too early for a quarterback controversy in Buffalo. How about this? Now, this is going to be a busted coverage. Martinez cuts inside. There's nobody in the middle of the field. That is unacceptable for Western Michigan, and really good job recognizing that from Drew Anderson, finding Martinez, and he is so excited. Look at that. A guy who was promised nothing when he transferred to Buffalo, finally getting his opportunity, and how excited is that young man?
Adam Mitchison, the PAT, and yes, indeed, in just career start number 2. Drew Anderson, the 6'5 junior from Orinda, California, coming up big. His second bomb. This one goes for 6, and the Bulls are right back in it. you've come to the right place.
Absolutely.
My goodness.
Drew Anderson on this game so far, 2 completions for 149 yards. As you go back and look at this play, this was Sam Beal's man, in my opinion. He was lined up on Martinez on the inside, and he thought he was going to pass it off to Devontae Ginwright, the safety. Ginwright stays with his man. Beal doesn't come across with Martinez, and he's wide open. That's a busted coverage, and Drew Anderson made him pay.
Beal, meanwhile, has since been walked with a trainer back to the locker room for Western Michigan. Here comes Darius Phillips, the dangerous return man for the Broncos, who has scored 13 career touchdowns, 11 of them on returns. And I said 11 return touchdowns between fumble return, interception return, punt return, kick return. That's the most in FBS since 2004.
Yeah, and keep an eye on him tonight, because now that they're into MAC play, coaches want to get him more involved on the offensive side of the ball. They said he needs to have, between his kickoff returns, his punt returns, his receptions, his carries, between 5 to 7 touches at the least per game.
Are you surprised there that Buffalo kicked it to him? I mean, they held him to 26, so that's a victory for Buffalo's
Absolutely.
special teams. And really, on paper, is Keyshawn Watson is stymied at the line of scrimmage.
Well, this is a surprise. Cam Lewis, number 39, the corner, is now playing with the cast on his hand. He wasn't supposed to go, but this is a huge game. So he's out there at the corner position, and can you imagine making that tackle, playing with some restrictions like that? How about the effort for Cam Lewis to come up and make the big stop?
And I saw him during pregame warm-ups with that big oven mitt on, and I thought there's no way he's playing. He wasn't in pads, didn't look like he was going to play. But you're right. This is a big game for the Bulls. Wasink avoids the first rush, and then he's drilled from behind. Jordan Collier, coming off his best career game, picks up the tackle for the Bulls.
Well, we talked about Cam Lewis. Look at this. He's got the club on. For a guy who is probably the best defender, arguably, on this Buffalo defense, he said, I got to be out there with my guys this week, and he doesn't care if he's able to play with one hand. Still able to make some tackles, and he's got excellent speed, great instincts, probably the best cover corner on this team.
Yeah, he's a Michigan guy, grew up in Detroit. Just a junior, 5'11", 185. And he has been outstanding for UB over the last 3 years. So 3rd down and 10. Wasink with a clean pocket, now runs, and he's not going to get there. Driven to the ground by the defensive tackle, Justin Brandon.
Well, they're lucky the pressure got home, because Dwayne Eskridge, number 7, the wide receiver, was running wide open down the seam.
Holding. Number 59. Offense. Penalty is declined. Result of the play, 4th down.
Again, after the first drive of the game where they give up the big home run hit, since then the Buffalo defense has absolutely bowed up. They held them to a field goal on the last drive, and now here 3 and out. Got to be feeling really good if you're Coach Brian Borland, the offensive coordinator for Buffalo.
Coming in, you presume that in this game, where you figure matchups, offense, defense, special teams is where Western Michigan has a big advantage in all phases. And we talked about Derek Mitchell, who's averaging nearly 44 yards per punt. Little Aussie style line drive caught over his shoulder. And let's take a break from Buffalo, off to a quick start with the Bronx up early. On a warm, breezy afternoon in Western New York, the starting quarterback, Tyree Jackson for Buffalo, number 3 there. You see bent over at the waist, knee brace on that left knee. He suffered that injury 2 weeks ago in the win over Florida Atlantic. But I'll tell you, his understudy, Drew Anderson, that day came in and guided the Bulls to a win. Then last week at Kent State looked good, solid. And this start to the game for him has been brilliant.
Perfect. 2 for 2 for 138 yards. Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. There's a look at Jackson. You can see he's got the knee brace on that left knee. They're hoping he can get back in the next couple of weeks. But you know, on the season, he's improved. The coaches feel like from last year, more comfortable, confident in the pocket, and he's certainly a specimen at 6'7", 245 pounds.
Yeah, Andy Kotelnicki, the offensive coordinator, and of course the head coach as well, Lance Leipold, both immediately went to the fact that Drew Anderson is extremely accurate throwing the football, and we've seen that so far here today. Short gain on 2nd down. It'll bring up 3rd down, about 8. Little tempo here for the Buffalo offense. Anderson rolling left, directing traffic, lofts it up, but his defender went down, and a flag is on the turf. It'll be against Obi Jackson, trying to keep the wide receiver Anthony Johnson from getting loose.
Well, they're trying to get Johnson on the outside, and they're going to catch Obi Jackson with PI.
Holding, number 24, defense. 10 yards, automatic 1st down.
That's the referee, Ron Hudson. And the fact that it's taken us this long to mention Anthony Johnson is a little bit surprising. He's the offensive #1 weapon for Buffalo. First year playing for the Bulls. And he is somebody who makes defenses play this Buffalo offense honestly. On play action. Anderson steps up, again lofts it. This time trying to find Tyler Mabry, but couldn't do it. Let's go back to the studio. Chris, thank you. Clearly this not the only big college football game in upstate New York today. Syracuse winning about 2 hours to the east of here.
Pitt really struggling this year.
They are. Anderson finds the hot receiver. That is Johnson, and he breaks tackles. Big gain to the 40-yard line of Western Michigan. Caleb Bailey, the middle linebacker, able to bring him down.
Again, this is the go-to guy on the outside for Buffalo. Number 83 comes across your screen right there, gets upfield. Kind of came out of nowhere this offseason. He was a JUCO transfer, redshirted last year, and all of a sudden on the outside for Buffalo, they've got a guy that they feel like is the legitimate #1 wide receiver they've been missing for the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, 6'2", 207, redshirt junior from Rock Hill, South Carolina. That's just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. Throwing from his heels. Anderson had his pass go through the hands of Antonio Nunn. Now Nunn is another one of the UB receivers who've helped them to open up the offense this year.
Coach said to us this week about Antonio Nunn, he said, keep an eye on this guy.
Yeah.
Because he's really developing and feel like they can use him more in this offense. I'm surprised, Doug, is how much they've thrown the football in this game, coming out early and often with their backup quarterback. It's amazing. They have a lot of confidence in him.
And if you're wondering, the 3rd quarterback on the depth chart, now the #2 quarterback, at least for this game, Kyle Van Treese, is a freshman, a true freshman, who has never played a college down. Big completion to Johnson into the red zone.
When you've got a guy like Johnson, who's a big body guy, former basketball player, who you feel confident you throw it in his vicinity, he'll go up and get it. And this isn't a great ball. I mean, a little bit underthrown, and Johnson just goes up and snags that thing away from Obi Jackson, says, give me that thing. Big 1st down.
Yeah, 26 yards on the pickup. Anthony Johnson, who his head coach calls humble and hard-working. You like to hear that for the younger cousin of Jadeveon Clowney, the former South Carolina star, now, of course, with the Houston Texans.
That's just a drop.
Just a drop by the tight end, Tyler Mabry.
That's got to be caught. Too easy.
And Mabry's been one of the big play options for Buffalo this year, stepping into a void that was left by Mason Schreck, who's now with the Cincinnati Bengals. There's Kyle Van Treese, and the Buffalo faithful certainly hoping that he doesn't have to get into the game today, because he is a raw rookie, and while Drew Anderson doesn't have a lot of experience, he is a grown man and has showed himself well the last 3 weeks. 2nd down and 10. Anderson on the read option, hands it off. Out of bounds at the 5-yard line, and there is Jamarl Island, one of the senior captains. Gain of 8 on the play.
Yeah, they put the receiver in the backfield here and just hand it off to him on a little bit of a zone read. And we used to call that zoo. On defense, we yelling zoo for the Z receiver being in the backfield. Island does a good job, a former high school quarterback, carrying the football.
Buffalo knocking on the door with 6 minutes to go in the first quarter, trying to take its first lead of the football game. Emmanuel Reed able to fight his way for a couple down at the 2-yard line, but it's a Buffalo first down.
And Doug, this is the area of the field where Reed's stature really helps the Buffalo offense. The offensive coordinator Andy Kotelnicki was telling us this week that you can't find him. So like if you're a Western Michigan defensive lineman and you come up to the line of scrimmage, you get in your stance, you can't find number 29. He just kind of hides behind the line of scrimmage, and all of a sudden when he appears, he bursts through a hole. And with this zone blocking scheme that they run for Buffalo, does an excellent job, fits their offense perfectly.
They list Reed at 5'6", but he's a battering ram. Still no signal, and it looks like he's going to be a couple of inches shy of the end zone.
It's like Ken Finley for Western Michigan is going to be down.
The ruling on the field is the runner was short of the goal line. Timeout for an injured player.
There you see Reed. He's listed at 208 pounds out of Crestview, Florida. And you played defensive back at the highest levels. You won a national championship at Ohio State. You played in the NFL for a few years. Is that legit that if you're in the defensive secondary, you have a harder time finding a guy who's 5'8" than one who's 6 foot tall?
Oh, there's no question. I mean, offensive linemen are so big and physical that they absolutely have a hard time finding him in the backfield. And that's why he's doing a good job here in the red zone.
All right, we'll take a break as they tend to the injured Bronco. Well, Ken Finley, the junior defensive tackle from Muskegon, has made his way over to the trainer's table after kind of getting rolled up on near the goal line.
Yeah, these big boys down there, it's tough to sometimes protect yourself, and he just gets rolled up on by an offensive lineman from Buffalo. I think O'Hagan got him.
I'll tell you, Dustin, I'm always amazed that that sort of thing doesn't happen more frequently with those big boys in there.
No doubt. Now, look, Buffalo's going to go heavy set. They're going to go quick here. They've got Reed in the backfield. Easy touchdown.
Punching it in. Buffalo takes the lead. 4:51 remaining first quarter. 13-10 UB.
Well, this is about as easy as it gets. I like how they come up to the line of scrimmage quick. Try to catch Western Michigan off guard, and I think they do a little bit as they get an excellent push all the way into the end zone, and Reed just sort of has to fall into the end zone for the easy touchdown. And for the way this game started, my goodness, what a comeback for Buffalo.
The extra point is good. 14-10 Buffalo. And now let's take a look at this great team play with today's All-States, all hands in play.
Well, Johnson on the outside. How about this? You go up and snag it. You're a former basketball player. How to time that thing. And Johnson goes up and helps his quarterback, and that's Obi Jackson we talked about. He's 5'10", 170. We're talking about Johnson, who goes about 6'2", 215, so a huge size advantage. And Anderson really trusts Johnson on the outside. 14 unanswered points for Buffalo. That last drive, 11 plays, 70 yards.
Well, Anthony Johnson, when he got here last summer of 2016, he had not played at a high level of college football. He played some junior college, and his route running was very raw. But he has become very close with his position coach, Rob Iannello, and they've worked really, really hard. And that redshirt year last year, somewhat necessitated by injury and somewhat just allowing for him to develop, has worked out extremely well.
Well, they said that he really stood out when he was running some of the scout team last year for Buffalo. They're like, this guy's going to be pretty good. And so they're excited to get him out there on the field, and he has made an instant impact for this offense.
Well, subtle little play right there that we didn't mention. That kick by Adam Mitchison with the wind at his back. So important to kick it out of the end zone and keep it out of the hands of number 4 in white, because Darius Phillips, we have yet to get a sense for what he can do to a football game yet today.
Yeah, great point. He is one of the most dangerous return men in the entire country. And so he hasn't really been able to get his hands on the ball. I would be interested to see here if Tim Lester decides to get him in on the offensive side at some point early in this game.
Well, that certainly is in the game plan. They've had it in the game plan since week 2 against Michigan State, but until last week at Ball State. they had not used him. This is back to Bellamy, who started the football game at running back for Western Michigan. Gain of 3. And the tackle made by one of the captains for Buffalo, Khalil Hodge, a junior from Stockton, California, who is among the nation's leaders at over 12 tackles per game. Big hit in the backfield by Damone Harris. He's a local player, senior from Bishop Timon St. Jude. And that'll bring up 3rd down and long for Western Michigan. On 3rd and 8, John Wassink, flag down, pass caught. Dwayne Eskridge out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Let's see if it stands.
Illegal formation. Offense. More than 4 players in the backfield. 5 yards from the previous spot. 3rd down.
Well, Western Michigan, we talk about some of the holes they've had to fill. How about this wide receiving core? Very little experience coming into this year, but Dwayne Eskridge, Keyshawn Watson, Giovanni Ricci, Tyron Arnett, Rayshawn Davey, they have been able to fill some of the voids left by, well, Corey Davis was the headliner, who was picked 5th overall in last year's draft by the Titans. But this Western Michigan team has lost a lot of talent, a lot of it to the NFL over the last couple of years.
Yeah, they're young. Lost Daniel Braverman, was drafted by the Chicago Bears a couple years ago.
Wassink caught by Eskridge. The man who runs a 4.38 40, able to find a gap in that defensive secondary for a big 1st down.
Boy, 3rd and long, no problem for Wassink. Sits back in the pocket and delivers a strike over the middle to Eskridge.
He picks up 18 yards for that 1st down. Wassink fires short, nearly intercepted by Williams.
Nearly intercepted. That should have been picked off by Williams. He has an excellent break as he's defending Eskridge on the outside, and Wassink is very lucky that this wasn't intercepted. Yeah, oh boy. Hey, as a former DB myself, those don't come along too often where it's right there in your breadbasket. That's got to be caught.
Well, he picked up his 2nd career interception last week. Very nearly got number 3 right there. 2nd and 10. Bellamy turns the corner and tackled by the ankle. Otherwise, he would have gone. Ryan Williamson kept that to only being a 10-yard pickup.
Well, this ankle doesn't seem to be too much of a problem. They have the zone blocking scheme as they bring their left guard and left tackle. They pull him around and lead for Bellamy.
This time they throw to the tight end into Buffalo territory. Tackled inbounds is Donnie Ernsberger. That's a gain of 6 after Chuck Harris from his defensive end spot in pursuit came up with the tackle.
You know, we talked a lot about the 3-headed monster. Take a look at Jarvian Franklin. You know, he's kind of got to wait his turn,
which is ridiculous.
Yeah, this guy was the offensive player of the year as a freshman. He's a terrific, leads the Western Michigan with all-time rushing touchdowns, and here he is sitting on the sidelines waiting his turn.
Yeah, he's got 44 career touchdowns, 2nd among all active players. Fumble. Looks like the Broncos may have gotten to the football first.
It's a big hit coming up here from Tim Roberts. And I couldn't tell exactly who came in to fall on the ball for Western Michigan, but a big hit. And look at 22 and Cam Lewis coming in there.
1st and 10, Western Michigan at the UD 39.
It was Bogan.
Yeah, Jamari Bogan able to cover it after Gio Ricci coughed it up. Big break for Western. On 1st and 10. Going to take a shot downfield, and it's intercepted at the 25. At the height of his leap, how about the middle linebacker, Khalil Hodge, hauling it in and getting the football back.
You ever hear the phrase, ball don't lie? Sometimes you play with fire a little bit too much, and that's what Wassink did on this drive. had one that should have been intercepted by Brandon Williams. They got a fumble back, and now you play with a little bit more fire with Khalil Hodge, the stud middle linebacker over the middle. He's not going to allow that to be caught. Big interception from Hodge, captain of the defense. I might have another nominee for our All-State Good Hands.
My goodness, the pride of Stockton, California, coming up with the leaping interception. This is a guy who in the game against Minnesota earlier this year, 20 tackles. That's what he's known for, just being a steady guy, coming up with volume tackles. But how about that interception? On first down, incomplete pass for Buffalo. Trying to find Jamarl Island. That'll bring up second down and 10.
Well, the pass defense for Buffalo was the strength, 14th in the country, only giving up 154 yards a game coming in, so they're doing a good job against Washington Company. That's what the concern was, stopping the run for Buffalo. Well, they've done a pretty good job of that, and now they got a turnover to set their offense up.
Yeah, first career interception by Khalil Hodge. And you know, the coaches can't talk enough, as on second down, the Bulls don't get anywhere. On defense for Buffalo, you know, Hodge is the one who gets some of the headlines, Dustin, but the guys in front of him, Chris Ford, the nose guard, and Justin Brandon, the defensive tackle, have done a terrific job controlling the middle of the line. Pass incomplete. And that'll bring up fourth down. Clock stops at 1:13. And Buffalo sends its punting unit. Well, there are a lot of NFL scouts keeping their eye on number 4 in white. Every single game the Broncos play, they are keeping track of Darius Phillips. Kyle DeWeen's punt bounces past Phillips and out of bounds inside the 20. That is an excellent job.
You know, this conference, if you're not too familiar with it, the Mid-American Conference, they have put some serious talent out over the years, led by Antonio Brown, who's arguably the top wide receiver in the National Football League. Look at some of those greats. You've got Hall of Famers. Jack Lambert, Antonio Gates is a future Hall of Famer.
Holding, number 24, return team. 10 yards from the end of the kick. First down, Western Michigan.
Big Ben Roethlisberger, Jason Taylor, who was just inducted into the Hall of Fame, and James Harrison, who that guy, I mean, he's found the fountain of youth. I think he'll play till he's 50. Have you seen some of the workout videos that guy does?
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Insane. And then Corey Davis, who was just drafted 5th overall.
Well, I think we really missed one on that list we've got to put out there. Khalil Mack is the 2016 NFL Defensive Player of the Year out of here in Buffalo, and he and his classmate Bo Oliver, running back for the Chargers, the most recent NFL types from UB. Darius Phillips certainly is expected to be drafted 2nd, 3rd round at this point, but who else on the field here today are you keeping your eye on in that vein, Dustin?
Well, I think Okafor is probably going to go 1st or 2nd round, the left tackle for Western Michigan.
There's the big man. They call him Chukwuma Okorafor.
Yeah.
A 330-pound, 6'6" senior from Southfield, Michigan.
Top 5 on Mel Kiper's list for offensive tackles heading into this season in terms of NFL draft next year. And it's got an interesting story. He grew up in Nigeria and South Africa and played soccer growing up, and all of a sudden it finds his way to the United States and had a little bit of a growth spurt and finds himself as a terrific offensive tackle.
Bogan works his way out to the 19-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down and 1.
The one thing about Okorafor is that he's got to finish. When we chatted with offensive coordinator Kevin Johns this week, he told us that he's a terrific athlete, doing a great job on this offensive line, but they want to see him finish blocks. And that's what they look for at the next level, and if he can do that, he can be a really special one.
Well, an entertaining first quarter is now in the books. Well, we started with a 66-yard touchdown run by Bellamy to make it 7-0 Bronx. After a career-long 44-yard field goal by Grant. Hey, here come the Bulls. Big plays of their own, up 14-10. With Dustin Fox, I'm Doug Sherman here in Buffalo, New York. Little action here on a Saturday afternoon, and Khalil Franklin, who earlier picked up, or rather Khalil Hodge picked up his first interception with the tackle there on what was a first down run for the Broncos. And every time Western Michigan takes the field on offense, we've got to scan that line of scrimmage to see if number 4 is out there. A little trickery here. They do have 4 on the field. They fake it to him. But instead, keeping the football is Jamari Bogan. And you can certainly understand why the Buffalo defenders were running towards number 4 as opposed to running towards the football.
Yeah, I think most people thought that Darius Phillips, who we talked about as an injured bull down, he thought that Darius Phillips was going to get the ball on the reverse. Instead, they decide to keep the ball with Bogan and picks up about 7 yards.
That's Jordan Collier, the junior linebacker, who takes the worst of that collision with Jamari Bogan.
Yeah, that is a serious forearm shiver from Jamari Bogan at the end. I mean, he's out of bounds, but he continues to run through the play, and Collier, you're right. Yeah, he takes the brunt of that one.
He's kind of an undersized linebacker, a converted defensive back who has brought speed to that position, but good to see him walking back to the sideline under his own power. Well, again, is number 4 out there, and they don't put him out there just to be a decoy.
Slot receiver.
This time they run the football away from him. Last week against Ball State, Phillips played 3 offensive snaps for Western Michigan, and each of those 3 times they gave him the football.
Talking about Darius Phillips, who is the top corner for this team. Here he is right there in the slot on the hash marks.
3rd and short, and that'll be a first down for the Broncos. Tough yards in there, Jamari Bogan.
So Darius Phillips comes into the game. 3 plays, no touches, a couple first downs. A little decoy action, huh?
Not a decoy last week. So far here today, he's been a decoy. Western Michigan is yet to open up the offense. Passing yardage very much favors Buffalo so far. On the ground again, and for a very short gain, Jarvion Franklin with his first touch. And again, as we talked about earlier, he's the senior leader who has reached the end zone 44 times in his career, and he doesn't get his first touch until the second quarter. That's how deep Western is at running back. Franklin's a senior from Tinley Park, Illinois. Was a star at Andrew High School. Off the pump fake, goes back to his first intended receiver. Keyshawn Watson gets lit up at the 39-yard line.
We talked about that 3-headed monster in the backfield. Coming into today's game, 44 touchdowns for Franklin, 5 for Bellamy, and 26 for Bogan.
3rd and 6. First down, pass complete to Anton Curtis, a redshirt sophomore from Grosse Pointe, Michigan. 10 yards on the pickup, move the chains. Well, with the heavy reliance on that tremendous running game, Wasink does not usually have to win football games for you. Handed off Franklin one more time, tries to cut it back, and he's tackled at the 48-yard line.
I'll tell you, Khalil Hodge, that Mike linebacker, number 4 in blue, this guy is everywhere. We talked about his 20 tackles in week 1 against Minnesota. I mean, this guy, you literally, if you watch him just on every play, he's always around the football, always making tackles. What a playmaker.
He's a guy who played junior college football, and when he and his father flew from Northern California to Buffalo, Coach Leipold and his staff said, it's always nice around here. It doesn't snow that much here in Buffalo.
Yeah.
And their sales pitch worked. And as evidenced here in October, with a wide open Eskridge, he walks into the end zone. 48 yards, Wasink to Eskridge, and the Broncos are back in front.
Too bad Khalil Hodge can't play corner. I mean, he's just wide open We look up, and then, of course, number 7, top of your screen, little double move. Confuses the safety on the outside. Tatum Slack, the corner, who's playing zone coverage. He's got to get his depth, and he doesn't. He bites on the inside route, and Eskridge is wide open, and he's arguably the fastest wide receiver on the team, maybe the fastest guy on the team with Bellamy.
Yeah, I think they say he is the fastest now.
Oh, they had a race?
They did.
Oh.
They did.
And Eskridge won?
Old school foot race. You believe everything I tell you, don't you?
Hey, if you like big plays, you have come to the right place. Dwayne Eskridge puts Western Michigan back on top.
Welcome back to the All-State Saturday kickoff here in Buffalo, New York. Western Michigan has just retaken the lead thanks to Dwayne Eskridge, a 2-time high school state sprint champ in Indiana out of Bluffton High School. Boy, this young man can run.
They called him Mr. Track and Field. He had that honor in the state of Indiana. Big-time speed on the outside, and they need to have some playmakers step up for Western Michigan. They would have to replace Corey Davis, all that production throughout the years here at Western, and they feel like Eskridge could be that guy.
Yeah, Tim Lester, the head coach for Western, felt like, well, he wasn't necessarily settled down week 1 at USC, but by the time he got to Michigan State week 2, Dwayne Eskridge had found his stride.
That's Coach Lester. One of the top quarterbacks, not only in the Mid-American Conference in 1999, but he was one of the top quarterbacks in the country. As you see a look at Eskridge there, the speedster. Played high school tailback, too. So has a feel for what to do with the ball when it's in his hands.
Only 5'9", 190, but he fits into that slot receiver role very, very nicely. And with that speed, you can succeed anywhere. And Tim Lester knows a thing or two about throwing the football. He set 17 school records himself at Western as a 4-year starter for the Broncos. And at the time he graduated, he was number 4 all-time in the history of Division I football in career passing yardage. Pretty good stuff. And, of course, Western Michigan was one of the real stories of last year. And under the direction of P.J. Fleck, now the head coach at Minnesota, you know, they hosted College Game Day for this game last year. Buffalo went to Kalamazoo and got beaten 38-0. Fleck gets the bigger job up to Minnesota, and so now Tim Lester comes back to his alma mater. He didn't come in and just try and blow up what his predecessor had done. He's trying to build on the success they've had the last couple, 3 years.
Well, when you've got that culture in place, you can't just blow it up. You've got to find a way to build off of it, and so far he feels like he's done a good job of that.
On the flea flicker, nowhere to run, though, for the second receiver, Anthony Johnson, after he got the football from Kamadi Holsey. That's the left end, Antonio Balabani, with the tackle for a loss of 8.
Remember the row the boat mantra that was featured everywhere when P.J. Fleck was at Western Michigan. As you get a look at Balbani, terrific play, tackle for loss, but you know, they have to come in and change some of those things. I mean, row the boat is now at Minnesota, and so Tim Lester, the challenge is to sort of develop a new identity for his program.
From what I understand, when Coach Lester and his staff took over, they came in and asked the players, what do you like from what the previous coaching staff did? What would you like to keep? What would you like to change? On the dump-off pass, going to be another loss for Buffalo. Nowhere to run after the completion to Emmanuel Reed out of the backfield. Asante Brown with the tackle.
Like they were trying to set up some sort of a screen on 3rd and long, and Reed didn't have any blockers out in front of him. He dumps it off to Reed, and then all of a sudden he turns around. There's 4 white jerseys. It's not the ideal play on 3rd and long. Don't blink with number 4 deep.
Let's see what Kyle DeWeen, the punter for Buffalo, does with this to try and keep it out of the hands of Darius Phillips. A worm burner and not allowing for Phillips to get his hands on it. Flag down back at the line of scrimmage.
40-yard punt for Kyle DeWeen. There's a flag in the play.
Illegal formation. Offense. More than 4 players in the backfield. That 5-yard penalty will be assessed at the end of the kick. First down, Western Michigan. Timeout.
We'll take a break from Buffalo. Bronx up 3.
Nothing beats farm fresh. So to feed this hungry campus,
9:35 remaining second quarter on homecoming here in Buffalo, New York. And John Wasink, the quarterback, redshirt sophomore for Western Michigan, coming off a terrific performance in the win against Ball State, trying to back it up here for a second week in a row.
A great story that Coach Kevin Johns told us is when he got the job at Western Michigan from Indiana, he walked into the gym where John Wasink was playing hoops. And he said, "Who's this guy?" And he was the best athlete on the court by far. And so he knew he was going to be a special one.
Here goes Levante Bellamy. Near another first down run. He's nearing 100 yards for the day.
Wasink, who was a terrific basketball player at South Christian High School in Grand Rapids. Not only a great football player at 34 touchdowns his senior season, but a terrific basketball player.
On 2nd and 2, Keyshawn Watson fights his way across the 40-yard line, and that'll be good enough for a first down. Now, Wasink's listed at 6'2", 205, and as you mentioned, at South Christian High School, but a terrific all-around athlete.
Well, and big shoes to fill, too, from the quarterback position for Western Michigan. Zach Terrell, a 4-year starter, just graduated, had a look in the NFL, but big shoes to fill.
Ernsberger, the tight end, carrying a couple of tacklers down to the 30-yard line.
Late flag.
Hargrove on the takedown for the Bulls.
Ineligible receiver downfield, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
So Tim Lester's club moves back to the Buffalo 43-yard line. Wasink takes the snap at midfield, sets up the screen. Bellamy to the 30. Knocked out of bounds at the 23-yard line. In pursuit, Ishmael Hargrove, one of the outstanding boundary outside backers for Buffalo. 20 yards on the gain.
Well, again, Bellamy appears to be just fine, at least early in this game. We'll see if he comes back in the second half, but nice gain there on first down, first and long, and then in comes Jarvian Franklin. So no problem. Again, they've got so many terrific running backs that they shuffle through.
Opening week, Bellamy at USC, 9 carries, 102 yards. Franklin's going to throw to the end zone. He underthrew it, and it's intercepted by Ryan Williamson.
And I was a high school tailback once, and sometimes they put in these trick plays for a running back, and the number one thing that they coach on these halfback passes, if the guy ain't open, eat it, don't throw it. And Franklin, this is a bad decision by him to throw this to the end zone. He is covered beautifully by Ryan Williamson. He's got to eat that football, throw it away, take off and run, anything but throw it up for grabs, as Williamson gets a huge stop for this Buffalo defense, and they needed it too, because Western Michigan was off to a nice drive. Great question. I think it's arguably Florida right now, or Georgia. I mean, I think Georgia's impressed, obviously, in the SEC East.
That pass is dropped by Island. Would your answer change if somehow A&M is able to pull the upset tonight? They slot into number 2. I mean, like we said, that opening week devastating loss to UCLA notwithstanding, since that time they've been all right. And obviously, if you can, well, at the rate it's been going in the SEC, you just want to be able to hang with Alabama, let alone pull off the upset. But they're home, and that's one of the tougher places, College Station, to go get a win. If the unthinkable happens and they overcome what is perceived to be a huge deficit.
I forgot to give Auburn a little bit of love, too. Auburn Tigers 12th in the country. But, yeah, we'll see what happens tonight. I mean, this is a tough matchup for A&M. You know, they got a freshman quarterback in Kellen Mond who, you know, this is a big stage for that young man.
6-yard gain by Theo Anderson, redshirt freshman running back for Buffalo. First down. Pass completion to Anthony Johnson. Buffalo looking for its first 4-game winning streak since 2013. Back in that magical season for UB, they had guys like Khalil Mack, now of the Raiders, Brandon Oliver, now the Chargers, leading the charge. It seems like it's been an eternity, but it wasn't that long ago. But Buffalo very much in this football game, down 3 with the football. Anderson stuffed at the line of scrimmage. That's Andre Turner, redshirt senior defensive tackle from Detroit, making the stop for a 1-yard loss. Now Buffalo still doing without its #1 running back, Jonathan Hawkins. Now they don't necessarily think his season is done, but he has yet to return to practice from his injury. And so in the meantime, it's Emmanuel Reed, the #1, and Theo Anderson, the #2 running back for UB. Off the read option, Johnson. Wow, dropped at the 35.
Dropped after he was flipped.
Asante Brown.
Watch as #6 comes into your screen. 83 comes across, little jet sweep motion action, and he gets flipped. Lucky to hang on to that football. That's a dangerous play. Good tackle from Asante Brown.
And Asante Brown was looking forward to playing against his cousin in this game, but his cousin, the starting quarterback for Buffalo, Tyree Jackson, remains sidelined with a knee injury. They're hoping Jackson might be able to return next week. His backup, Drew Anderson, with a nifty little pass, complete just shy of the first down marker. On the catches, Kamadi Holsey. Devontae Ginwright.
Well, a little bit of a decision here for Buffalo. 4th and, I don't know if it's a full yard, but it's close. They're going to punt it away. But some of the guys on the offensive line were screaming to the sidelines to Coach Leipold, hey, Coach, let's stay out here and bring our heavy set in and go for this thing. But I think at this point in the game, with it being a 3-point margin, the right call is to punt this away.
Kyle DeWeen stands at his own 28-yard line awaiting the snap. Phillips going to have to give up ground, and he won't have an opportunity to return it. And Buffalo down by its own goal line, able to get to the football. That'll leave the Broncos 99 yards away from the end zone.
To me, this is on Darius Phillips. I mean, this is a line drive kick. I know it's a little bit dangerous to some degree, but I think he's got to get on this football. Would have saved them a ton of field position. We'll take a look at it when we come back. But, man, that is a big-time punt for Buffalo.
Yeah, for the moment it stands as a 57-yard punt thanks to KJ Osborne on coverage, getting to the football at the 1-yard line. We'll take another look when we come back to UB Stadium.
Well, the previous punt return, Darius Phillips, I think he's got to get on this football. He lets it bounce. This is 20 yards of field position, and then a great job by Buffalo getting this ball down. And a little bit different than the NFL, your feet can be in the end zone. It's where the ball's at. They bat that thing out, and Western Michigan is backed up.
And that was KJ Osborne, the wide receiver, playing on special teams, doing such a marvelous job getting to that football. So Western Michigan's offense in a tough spot, and Wasik fumbles, able to recover and get out of the end zone. That could have been real trouble for the Bronx. Winds up picking up 1 yard on the play, 2nd down and 9.
It's always a little bit dangerous down here around your own goal line. You run out of the shotgun, you know, so many things could go wrong. It's a pretty good job by Wasik just to get himself out of the end zone and actually gain a yard.
He's got Jamari Bogan in the backfield with him. Fakes the handoff to Bogan. Pass complete out to the 8-yard line. Diving reception for Giovanni Ricci, redshirt sophomore from Loveland, Ohio. Third down and 3 with a little bit of breathing room.
This double tight end look at the bottom of the screen, and Bogan in the backfield.
Odell Miller's the backup tight end, leading blocking, and a big hit by Khalil Hodge. Did Bogan get to the 11+ yard line where he needed to get? It doesn't look like he's going to have a first down, so here comes the punt unit for Western Michigan. Fist raised for sure. Number 4 in blue with Yet another tackle. He's averaging nearly 13 tackles per game, most in the MAC, third in the country.
Yeah, last season he had 123 tackles, second most in school history. He's well on pace for that again this year. What a stop on 4th down. See if Buffalo can get themselves some good field position and get some points on the board before half.
Yeah, under 3 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Jamarl Island, long way to run, catches the punt and able to get into Western territory. So UB has tremendous starting position for this drive. Well, coming up at halftime. Hey, how about Iowa State, the Cyclones shocking the Sooners?
Matt Campbell, former MAC coach at Toledo.
And then how about Mr. Barkley doing it again? And that's not Charles Barkley who we're talking about. That's all coming up on the halftime report on ESPNU.
And Matt Campbell, who was the head coach at Toledo 2 seasons ago, takes over at Iowa State, and in 2 years has really turned that program around. That's a historic win for that program and for Matt Campbell.
How about Toledo today surviving a test from Eastern Michigan? Drew Anderson on 1st down, shows he can run. How about his long run last week, the 64-yarder at Kent State, where he's weaving and running, protecting the football. His coaches on the sideline didn't know he could do that.
Blew him away.
Blew him away.
They were like, should he go down? Is he going to keep going? He just kept going for 64 yards. It was an amazing run, and they didn't know that he had that type of athleticism.
Apparently he does. Picks up 10 yards on that last run. Clock running down, just over 2 minutes now remaining in the half. Buffalo with the football, down by 3. And they are driving into the wind. Movement on the line. David Goldsby is the right tackle for Buffalo. He and Stephen Clark with a little extracurricular. And so it is Goldsby, who returned to the lineup last week at Kent State for UB.
And watch 70 right here. He just has a little bit of a hitch. Is Eric Osua. 33 comes in the screen. Then there's a little bit of hand fighting after the play. Got to be careful with those guys because they'll call an unsportsmanlike conduct.
On 1st and 15, it's Theo Anderson. We've got a flag in the backfield. Tackle made by Asante Brown. Going to have a holding penalty against the Bulls. And Zach Lefebvre, the backup tight end, called for the penalty. So much for that good starting position. Buffalo going the wrong way. Minute 41 remaining.
A little strategy here from really both teams. 1st and 25. If you're Buffalo, you obviously would like to get some points being down 3 here before halftime, but you also have to look at it. What happens here on 1st down, I think, determines a lot of things. If you can get some positive yards and maybe cut this in half, then you decide to go for it. But if you're Western, maybe you start to look at getting these timeouts called if you can get the football back for yourself.
Swing pass, caught. Island turns the corner, but he did so with help of what's going to be an illegal block or a hold. Osborne is the man who was trying to lead the way, but about the 50-yard line, there's laundry there.
I think Osborne knew that he was going to get called for the hold on the outside here. He looks up, sees the flag, and is just pounding.
Number 8, offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, 1st down.
Pounding the ground at the official, saying, come on, man, you can't call that on me. And yeah, they can, and they did. And you're going to go the opposite direction again. And this is going to be 1st and Niagara Falls.
So from the Western Michigan 35-yard line, Buffalo is now back on its own 42 after 3 consecutive penalties. And now a timeout is called by the Broncos. Well, anytime you can get the football into the hands of your return man, Darius Phillips, you do it. So if you can force a punt here, do everything you can. Well, kick off your Week 5 NFL Sunday with ESPN at 10 a.m. Eastern. Our Sunday NFL Countdown crew, Rex Ryan, Charles Woodson, Matt Hasselbeck, Randy Moss, Mort Shefty, and host Samantha Ponder will have all the early breaking stories, injury updates, and preview each game right up to kickoff. It's also streaming live on the ESPN app.
I mean, who's better than that team? You got the insiders, Morton Shefty. You got Straight Cash Homie.
Mm-hmm.
Charles Woodson. And Rex Ryan.
You know, you mentioned Charles Woodson, and we've been talking about
Sore
Darius. Ohio State, Michigan.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk more about Darius Phillips. I want to get your thoughts about who he reminds you of. And you say Charles Woodson, that's what I think of, and there are certainly other comps that we have thrown out there. Theo Anderson nowhere to run on first and forever. Caleb Bailey.
Western's going to hit another timeout. And
Western Michigan, second timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
And they're looking to be opportunistic here before halftime. And why wouldn't you? When you mentioned Darius Phillips, who arguably the most dangerous return man in the entire country. You've got a chance to get the football in his hands, and if you try to kick away from it, you never know. Maybe they kick it out of bounds, and you end up with the good field position because of it. So I would imagine Buffalo here just runs the ball and makes Western take another timeout.
Coach Leipold told us earlier this week his comparison for Darius Phillips was Deion Sanders. He says he's the Deion Sanders of the MAC, and he actually joked, does he also play outfield for the Broncos baseball team just like Deion Sanders did? He's trying desperately to keep the football out of that guy's hands. Western Michigan trying to stop him right here. Theo Anderson stays in bounds, back into Western Michigan territory.
You know, one of the comparisons that Tim Lester had made about Darius Phillips is they think he reminds a lot of people of Devin Hester. And, you know, Coach Lester's a Chicago guy, right? He remembers when Hester played for the Chicago Bears. He actually made some phone calls to people in Chicago and said, hey, what did you do with Hester? How did you find ways to get him involved in the offensive side of football? How did you find ways, you know, with the return game? And you got a little bit of advice from the Bear staff, and so now they're trying to do some different things with him and kind of that Devin Hester role.
You know, Darius Phillips was really a zero-star recruit, if there is such a thing, coming out of Detroit 5 years ago. And he was set to go to Syracuse until Doug Marrone left Syracuse to take the Buffalo Bills job. And so at that point, he took his running backs coach, Tyrone Wheatley, former Wolverine, sorry to mention that, with him. And it was Wheatley who had the recruiting connection with Phillips. So once those guys were out of Syracuse, Darius reopened his recruitment and wound up in Kalamazoo.
And P.J. Fleck closed that deal.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, he was going to play receiver at Western Michigan, and Coach Fleck talked him into moving to DB.
Theo Anderson, and actually he did play freshman year at wide receiver before being switched over by Coach Fleck.
I called one of his games when he was a freshman, and I was like, man, this guy is one of the most dangerous guys in the country. He was a freshman at receiver, and you know, the coaches said, listen, we need some help on the defensive side of the ball. Coach Fleck went to him and said, I think you may have a chance to maybe play at the next level. If you make this move, we'll try to keep you involved with the offense as much as we
Play
can.
was stopped or a helmet off by the defense. Buffalo has chosen a 10-second runoff. Please set the clock at 40 seconds and wind it on my signal.
Well, because Buffalo's on offense, Western can't use a timeout. So we'll run the 10 seconds off. And that's big because Western was trying to get the ball back here, and that's going to be 10 precious seconds that they won't have. So.
And not just the return of Darius Phillips, also they are playing with the wind at their back, and it's pretty good wind, and Western Michigan has itself a terrific field goal kicker in Josh Grant.
And I think Western's just comfortable saying, let's go to half with the lead. Let's not risk anything on this punt return, a muff or something that could help Buffalo maybe get some points before half.
And there you go. An entertaining first half indeed. One long play after another. Western Michigan jumped to a 10-0 lead. Buffalo came back to take a 14-10 lead. But right now, as we head to the intermission, our halftime score, Western Michigan 17, Buffalo 14. We'll send you to the studio after these messages.
Welcome to the Allstate Saturday Kickoff.
The leaves have just begun to turn across upstate New York on a beautiful fall afternoon here in Western New York. 17-14 our halftime score. Western Michigan leading Buffalo as these two teams each look for a 4th straight win. Doug Sherman along with Dustin Fox. And we saw a very entertaining first half with a lot of chunk yardage.
I was surprised. I mean, you thought you may see some defense in this game, and there was none to be found in the first half. There were some turnovers, and there were some big plays.
Well, the first big play was turned in by Western Michigan. Levante Bellamy, 66 yards to the house.
Remember, we were going to see a lot of him early in the first half of this game because he's dealing with an ankle injury. And then a couple drives later, Buffalo quarterback Drew Anderson finds Martinez down the seam for a big play, and then Manuel Reed punches in for the touchdown. This was a blown coverage from Buffalo as Dwayne Eskridge is wide open for a huge touchdown play. And boy, partner, we had a lot of points in the first half, a lot of offense, over 500 yards combined between both teams. I expect to see some more fireworks here in the second half.
What do you think the difference might be in the second half?
A turnover. I think you have two young quarterbacks, and both of them, tough spot, backup quarterback for Buffalo. One of these guys is going to make a critical mistake that cost their team the game.
Buffalo with the football first to begin this second half, and they'll take over at their own 38-yard line as we take a look at the first half stats. And not surprisingly, 152 yards on the ground, and for Western Michigan, 103 of that comes from Bellamy on only 7 carries. If his day is done, which they thought it might be just the first half because of that ankle, he's already done a day's worth of work.
Yeah, well, he's the home run hitter, so you sort of don't have to worry about that if he's not going to be able to go here in the second half. But you do have to worry about those other two guys, Bogan and Franklin, because they are both just as talented, probably don't have as much speed. But Buffalo's going to get the ball to start the second half. I think it's vital for them to get some points on this opening drive.
Number 12 in blue at quarterback for Buffalo is Drew Anderson, the former San Diego State walk-on. His first pass is a completion to Tyler Mabry, and the sophomore tight end hurdles the defender for a first down.
He's wide open in the flat, and Mabry's a guy that they've really started to get a lot more involved in this offense. And at the end of this play, how about this? Little track and field. Nice. Hurdles over the defender. Obi Jackson comes in and probably closed his eyes and opened him up to see that there's no contact. You just got hurdled by Tyler Mabry.
Well, Mabry just picked up 13 yards, and Dustin, he's averaging almost 21 yards per reception this year. Pretty good for a tight end. Tough bruising run by Theo Anderson. He's near a first down.
Yeah, Mabry, a guy from Ypsilanti, Michigan, played 3 years of high school there. And then he went to the IMG Academy, spent a season down there with Chris Wenke. You know about the IMG Academy. A lot of those guys are going to play in Division I football, and Mabry's a pretty good one here. Very physical. The thing that they love about him, not just his physicality, catching the football and breaking tackles, but blocking and finishing his blocks.
After a 10-yard run by Theo Anderson, the quarterback Drew Anderson back to pass. Lost it down the right side, a little bit too long for his intended receiver, who dove for it but could not come up with it. Kamati Holsey not able to pull it in. Remember, Kamati Holsey was the one on the first play from scrimmage for Buffalo, had the long pass play, got down to about the 10-yard line, but then lost the football and gave it right back to Western Michigan. There's the numbers for Drew Anderson. You know, he got his first career start last week, played well at Kent State. Feel like they've opened it up a little bit more, the playbook here today, and giving him more of an opportunity.
Now, this kid can rip it. He's a kid from Northern California who spent some time at a JUCO, but since he's come to Buffalo, hasn't really had a chance to play.
Miramont High School in the East Bay of Northern California. Pass complete to Antonio Nunn.
His high school coach said that he is a pure pocket passer. Thought he was one of the purest passers he's ever coached, ever been around, and you can see it. I mean, he's got a terrific arm. I've been impressed with his accuracy, his arm strength down the field. You look at some of those big-time throws, you know, leading his receivers. None of these deep balls are underthrown. He's got plenty of arm. And I'll tell you what, I mean, if he continues to play well, I'm not saying there's a controversy, but there'll be some talks and a decision to be made at the quarterback position for Buffalo.
Well, Anderson has to burn a timeout, and we'll step away from UB Stadium early in the third quarter. Buffalo with the football on third down. Drew Anderson's pass juggled. hauled in by Jamal Island, and he had just enough yardage to pick up another UB first down.
Going to run this right to the sticks, and Anderson knows exactly where his guy's at. And a pretty good job there for Obi Jackson to get Island on the ground, but just enough for the first down.
We talked before that last break about Drew Anderson. Of course, he's the transfer from San Diego State, where he was a walk-on scholarship here in Buffalo. Last year, he got into one game in garbage time against Bowling Green. So coming into this year, he really had no Division I college experience, but thrust into action 2 weeks ago with the injury to Tyree Jackson. And there's another accurate throw. On time, on target to Anthony Johnson, but it was dropped, incomplete.
Well, I thought he caught this. This is a 7 route, a corner route as they call it. 83 right in the slot. He breaks it off at about 12 yards. And a good break there up underneath from Stephon Claiborne. And I think that was just enough to make it go incomplete. But again, you see Johnson, the go-to receiver for Anderson, nearly comes down with the big-time first down reception.
The Buffalo head coach Lance Leipold told us earlier this week he's never in his coaching tenure, as the handoff goes to Island, stopped at the 35-yard line. In his long coaching experience, he's never had a player with so little playing experience receive so many votes by his teammates to be a team captain.
I was so surprised about that. I said, wait a second, is he a captain? Or no, he's like, no, but he got a lot of votes. Nobody thought he was going to be the starting quarterback coming into the season, yet he still got votes from his teammates, and he hasn't been here that long. So he has certainly garnered a lot of respect from his teammates here in Buffalo. I think it speaks volumes to him. That was something, when he said that, that jumped out at me big time. I'm like, this guy is a born leader. You know that from the fact that he hasn't played, and his teammates respect him.
On 3rd and 5, Anderson flips it up, incomplete. There was contact, but no flag on the coverage. Ginwright, strong safety out of Southfield, Michigan. And with the wind at their back, Buffalo will send its place kicker, Adam Mitchison, out onto the field. And Mitchison has had an up-and-down year. Last Saturday missed both of his field goal attempts, one from 51, one from 25 on the year. He is 5 of 9 with a season long of 42. This is a 51-yarder with the wind, and it's no good wide left.
With that wind, he had plenty of leg. Just going to push it off to the left. And here we are, 17-14. Western Michigan on top.
Allstate is proud to be part of the team that comes together to do good by contributing to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kicked. To date, Allstate has contributed millions in scholarship funds. With Dustin Fox, I'm Doug Sherman at UB Stadium in Buffalo, New York. Early third quarter with real good maction going on here. Coach Lance Leipold's Buffalo Bulls this year have run the football effectively with one man, Emmanuel Reed. They've had 53 rush attempts per game the last 3 games. What have we seen so far here today?
Only 17 carries. I've been a little bit surprised. You know, Emmanuel Reed, who came into this game, had 144 yards last week, only has 6 carries for 18 yards. I understand, you know, Anderson's done a pretty good job throwing the ball, but sometimes you get a little pass happy. You forget that your bread and butter needs to be buttered, and that's the running game. And I think they need to get back to that to help make some more manageable 2nd and 3rd downs for their young quarterback.
Now, running the football is what Western Michigan does best, with quarterback John Wassink under center. 1st down and 10 at the 34-yard line. They're going to run it on 1st down, and this is Jamari Bogan getting the second half start. And again, who knows how much we'll see of Levante Bellamy, who was so good in a starting role in the first half, but playing through an ankle injury that they said will likely limit him to the first half of today's ball game. Now we see Jarvion Franklin in.
Well, Bogan just came off to the side as his helmet off and is getting looked at by the medical staff, so something to keep an eye on.
And there you see Jarrett Franklin, the outstanding senior captain linebacker for Buffalo. He's been a very consistent tackler over the years. That tackle made by Ryan Williamson after a 5-yard gain.
Well, as Bogan came off the field, take a look at the last play. Wow, that's a phone booth tackle there from Jarrett Franklin. And Obviously, Bogan a little bit shaken up as he goes off to the sidelines. It's something to keep an eye on. And that's something that you don't want to play around with, those sort of injuries. So, again, Franklin seems to be the bell cow now as Bellamy's off on the sideline too. And remember, he's got that ankle, so could be the Jarvion Franklin show here in the second half.
Which isn't such a bad thing for the Broncos. The 2014 MAC Offensive Player of the Year as a true freshman, just taking defenders down the line. Khalil Hodge couldn't stop him until he got into Buffalo territory.
Remember, Franklin didn't even get his first carry of the game until the second quarter. He combines, I think, both Bellamy and Bogan's strengths. That's his ability to break tackles, as he did right there, and watch him finish there. That's Khalil Hodge, who takes a big-time shot from Franklin there at the end.
And Franklin is one of those guys who the NFL scouts are certainly keeping their eye on. He could be a draft possibility this coming year. Here he comes again. Tripped up at the 45-yard line by the free safety Ryan Williamson. As Jabari Bogan continues to receive treatment. Now there's a good sign there that the trainer was smiling while he was pushing on his head. Walsink with a clean pocket. Plenty of time to find Dwayne Eskridge. High steps his way out of bounds at the 23.
Well, we talk about the speed from Eskridge. He's a 100-meter champ from out of Indiana. Look at just, wow, what a speed burst there at the end, sort of high stepping down the sideline. You can just tell how fast he is as opposed to some of the other guys. It's like some of those DBs. Look at those play cards. They got these funny little pictures as they call it in off the sidelines as Wasik takes a peek over to the sidelines.
15 years ago at Ohio State, were they doing that sort of thing?
No. Hand signals.
Hand signals. Jarvion Franklin. Buffalo's defense stretched that play out very nicely. Jordan Collier on the tackle, junior from Lovejoy, Georgia, after a 3-yard gain. Collier's one of the guys who was at UAB when that program was disbanded, transferred up to Buffalo.
I'm sorry, I got to look at that Ace Ventura shot there from the back there. That's just phenomenal stuff from our camera crew, and you got to love those play cards as they call the. Like, what do those plays even mean? Those pictures.
Well, most of them are obviously just distractions, trying to have some fun.
I love it.
On second down, pass complete. Jarvion Franklin, he's got himself an escort into the end zone. It's a Western Michigan touchdown. 20-yard pass play. Well, you don't have Bellamy, you don't have Bogan, no problem. Number 31 steps up and fills the void.
Yeah, what a great luxury to have for Tim Lester. They set up a beautiful screenplay here to Franklin. He's going to leak out. And watch his big offensive lineman. That's Keno, John Keno, who gets the block that sets him free. And, of course, Franklin knows what to do when he has the football in his hands, finds the end zone. The all-time career leader in rushing touchdowns now has a touchdown reception.
Plus the PAT makes it a 10-point Western Michigan lead. Let's take a look back at our Buick Drive recap, which actually began with an injury. Jamari Bogan shaken up out of the game, and into the game comes Jarvion Franklin, who pretty much did the rest.
Yes, he did. This drive goes 7 plays, 65 yards, and most of it was number 31 breaking tackles. Again, I love his physicality, breaking through the defense in the secondary, and then they set up the screenplay beautifully here. John Keno with the big block there on the outside, and then Franklin just sort of jogs into the end zone. That's how easy it was. Franklin, who didn't really get much action until the second quarter because of Bellamy's need to play in the first half. And now you see Bogan down there as they're taking a look at him even more. Again, this is going to be the Jarvion Franklin show, I think, the rest of this game. And I don't necessarily think that that's a big deal because he's pretty darn good.
No doubt. Buffalo on the return, under 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. We've got flags down.
First down.
Referee Ron Hudson relaying the call. And so that'll push the Bulls back inside their own 15-yard line.
You know, something we talked about a little earlier was the running game of Buffalo and how it really hasn't been utilized enough, I don't think, in this game. And you're down 10 points now here against Western Michigan, and I don't think now's the time to abandon that running game. You've got tons of talent in the backfield. Take a little heat here off of your quarterback, and you know, you've got Emmanuel Reed and Theo Anderson in there.
Although Theo Anderson gets his second straight possession, it makes me wonder if Emmanuel Reed is not able to go out. Try to find him along the sideline. Theo Anderson on first down with a short gain. Well, in the Mid-American Conference, this is the first Saturday where everybody is playing a conference game, as you see number 11 in blue, redshirt freshman from Largo, Florida. Couple of final scores already. Central Michigan beat Ohio 26-23, and Toledo was pushed by Eastern Michigan, but the Rockets held on 20-15. Pass incomplete. And the Rockets were the team picked in the preseason poll to win the MAC West, with Western Michigan, the defending champ, as the distant second. And there's a look at Emmanuel Reed. From that, don't know that he's not able to go in.
Well, he was holding his gloves, though. And so that is, you know, a lot of times guys will do that when they're not ready to go into the game. So that's something to keep an eye on here. That's a good point by you, partner, because you're right. Theo Anderson now second drive in a row as the feature back.
And so if indeed Emmanuel Reed can't go, he's a guy who each of the last 3 games is
Ball
rushed.
start. Number 65, offense. 5-yard penalty, third down.
Yeah, Reed's been averaging 124 yards rushing each of the last 3 games, all wins for Buffalo.
Well, Emmanuel Reed's probably the second biggest playmaker on this offense. The other is number 83, Anthony Johnson. You know, a situation like this, a huge third down coming up here. I think Johnson's the guy you're looking to if you're Drew Anderson. You know, if you can get the football near him, he'll make something happen.
So far today, Johnson has caught 4 passes for 55 yards. 3rd and long from his own end zone. Long pass, trying to find Johnson, who goes to the turf. No call. Good coverage by Obi Jackson.
Again, I mean, he knows exactly where 83's at. He's trying to find him down the sideline, overthrows him just a bit. But I don't blame him. I mean, in a situation like that, you go to your top guy, and Anthony Johnson is that for this Buffalo offense. So not a good start here for Buffalo to start the second half. You miss a field goal, and Western Michigan goes down. They score a touchdown, and now you find yourself down 10, and also probably going to give Western Michigan excellent field position here.
From deep in his end zone, Kyle DeWeen's punt bounces right by Phillips and out of bounds at the 37-yard line.
Darius Phillips has not really been able to get his hands on the ball today.
The Mitchell Trubisky era begins in Chicago. We'll be in the black and blue division for our Week 5 Monday Night Football matchup. It's the Vikings and Bears at Soldier Field. Our coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown, served by Applebee's at 6 Eastern on ESPN. And the game is also available on ESPN2 and Espanol.
I know everybody is excited to see Mitchell Trubisky start. But, Doug, that Vikings defense is nasty. So for a rookie quarterback, I know they had a long time off here between their last Thursday game. But, man, that is a tough defense to go against.
On first down, Levante Bellamy back into the football game and breaking tackles. So much for the idea that he was done after one half. He looks good.
Now in comes Jarvion Franklin. They just shuffle these guys through.
20-yard pickup for Bellamy.
20-yard gain. First and 10 Western Michigan at the UB 43.
He went over 100 yards in that first half alone. And now give him 121. Pass play caught by Watson, gets drilled at about the 37-yard line, but a nice pickup on first down. Cameron Lewis playing for the first time in weeks after suffering a thumb injury against Colgate. That was way back in week 3. Made the tackle. He's got the defensive assignment right now on Gio Ricci. Bouncing it outside, Franklin lowers his head. The defender bounces off him. Kobe Green couldn't make the stop, had to be cleaned up by Mr. Hodge from his middle linebacker position after a pickup of 8.
Look at all these guys on Buffalo with their hands on their hips. You see Hodge there, who's making nearly every tackle for this defense. But right now, I mean, Western Michigan is doing whatever they want. And they can run the rock with Franklin. They bring in Bellamy here now. They're running some of these bubble screens on the outside, making Buffalo run sideline to sideline. They're in the catbird seat right now, partner.
In motion, Donnie Ernsberger. They'll follow him as a blocker. Bellamy able to pick up 3 on first down. Well, Bellamy suffered a torn ACL at Illinois last September, which cost him the rest of his redshirt freshman year. This year he's been hampered as well by ankle and foot sprains. Structurally, he's sound. They don't feel like this is going to do him any damage. And we talked about in the first half how his real problem coming into the game was deceleration, not acceleration. There's that burst. Able to find a hole, and Hodge with another tackle. That'll bring up third down and short.
I think vital here for Buffalo to try and force Western Michigan to attempt a field goal down here, because give up a touchdown. I mean, this is dangerous territory for a backup quarterback. I know he had the comeback win against FAU, but Western Michigan, I think, is a more talented team.
Franklin back in there at running back. They'll keep it on the ground. Will the Broncos? UB was ready, and I'm not sure he got there thanks to Ishmael Hargrove's tackle.
And Franklin's got to have a little bit better vision here. He runs right into number 16, Ishmael Hargrove. He tries to cut back, and all of a sudden there is big number 16 right in his vision, and there's nowhere for him to go. And now Western Michigan looks like they're going to be aggressive here. I'm surprised.
Well, they are driving into the wind, and so it would make any field goal attempt that much tougher. Now Buffalo on defense with a big opportunity to get off the field. Franklin stood up, and he didn't get there. It's a loss of 1 on the play, and Western Michigan gives up the football on downs.
Hey, a lot of credit here to Brian Borland on 4th and 2. Dials up a linebacker blitz. For 25, Jordan Collier comes scot-free through the C gap. Watch 25 come in your screen and get Franklin in the backfield. And then he gets a little bit of help from Cam Lewis and Khalil Hodge, and there is just nowhere for Franklin to go. And that is something that, as a team, your offense can feed off of that. That could shift the momentum back to Buffalo. Big-time stop.
And you know, Dustin, the DC, Brian Borland said to us earlier this week that Jordan Collier, quote, is getting it. And that's coming off of being named the defensive MVP for Buffalo at Kent State last week, where he had 9 tackles, 3 for loss, and a sack. And we've seen him play extremely well for UB so far here today. So Buffalo's offense back onto the field. Drew Anderson, the quarterback, just going to go down at the line of scrimmage. Robert Spillane, whose name we haven't called, one of the excellent linebackers for Western Michigan, with the tackle.
Those guys on defense, I mean, they're getting worn out, being asked to play a lot of snaps here in the second half, and for them to come up with a stop like that, you got to feel so good. And I've been in those situations many times. You're out there, you're tired, you put your hands on your hips, and you're thinking, man, can we just get off the field? Can we just make a play? And boy, they're on 4th down. They certainly did.
Anthony Johnson in motion. Anderson looks his way, pass batted down, incomplete. Eric Asua, the junior right end from Silver Spring, Maryland, making the play.
Is an incomplete forward pass. 3rd down.
Well, there's a look at Tyree Jackson, who's the backup. And we chatted with Lance Leipold before the season at the MAC Media Conference Day, and they have high hopes for him. And obviously he's dealing with a little bit of a knee injury. They don't want to rush it back too soon, so you wonder how long Anderson's going to kind of keep the reins of this job. I think kind of it depends on how well he plays. The better he plays, the better situation it is to bring Tyree Jackson back.
Anderson in trouble. keeps the play alive, throws the football on the run, and it's caught. Kamati Holsey, all 6'4" of them from Philadelphia with the big pass reception, 26 yards.
This is scramble drill on the outside. You watch Holsey, man coverage against Phillips. He passes it off. And then, of course, deep guys run short, short guys run deep, and that's what Holsey does. And really good job, though, by Drew Anderson. The thing that he did on that play was escape the pocket, make something happen with his legs, and when that happens, that's what Tyree Jackson does well, and that's something that they have loved in Drew Anderson.
From their own 49-yard line, Drew Anderson going deep again. He's got a man just out of the reach of Holsey.
Boy, Holsey had a step on his defender, and this ball is very, very close to being a big play. And I don't know that Anderson could have done any more here. I just think it's a game of inches, and you watch, look at this, fingertips. Oh, so close to being a big play for Holsey and the Buffalo offense.
Buffalo has been waiting for Kamati Holsey to really break out. 6'4", 215 senior. He has been a good player through his first couple of years here. He's a junior college transfer who originally committed to Troy, but with that size and his ability, he could be a big play option. Theo Anderson, pickup of 2.
Well, the great thing about that Holsey catch on the previous first down was the fact that it now has shifted the field in terms of, hey, you were kind of backed up there. Now you get a big play. Even if you have to punt the ball here, you're going to be able to pin Western back and help your defense out. Again, find 83. Top of the screen, matched up with the top corner for Western Michigan, Darius Phillips.
3rd down and 8. Swing pass to Anderson. Makes the first man miss. Steps out of bounds at the 45. And that'll bring up 4th down and 4. Devontae Ginwright there for Western.
Is Lance Leipold thinking about going for this on 4th down?
Sure seems like it.
No,
But
no. He's bringing the punt team on. He's smarter than that. 4th and 5. And it's a 10-point game. It's not like you're down 21 here.
And so Kyle DeWeen will punt to a man who week 1 had a 100-yard kick return for a touchdown at USC. Week 2 did the exact same thing at Michigan State. He won't get an opportunity here as the punt with the win goes into the end zone, and that's not a bad thing. Keep the ball out of the hands of number 4 in white if you are Buffalo. Well, like you said, partner, they have flipped the field. So if for nothing else, Buffalo got the ball down to the other end, and now Western's got a much longer field to play with. But the reality is, with only 48 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, Buffalo's defense needs to make another play or 2 here and get its offense back onto the field. Tonight, the Paul Bunyan Trophy is on the line in the Big House, Michigan. And Michigan State, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC. Also streaming live on the ESPN app. And John O'Korn, the quarterback who debuts for the Wolverines tonight. What will he do for the Maize and Blue in a big rivalry game? And I heard some of the guys on College Game Day this morning talking about, yes, it's a big rivalry, but from Michigan's perspective, it's not nearly as big a deal as it is for Michigan State's, because for Michigan, well, they've got you guys, Ohio State, they've got Notre Dame, but for the guys in green, this is it, period.
You know, I played for Mark D'Antonio at Ohio State, who's my defensive coordinator, and those guys always have a chip on their shoulder. That whole little brother, big brother thing started with
Mike Hart.
Mike Hart, at the press conference all the way back in like 2006 or 2007. That has been something that has carried a little bit of tradition, a little bit of bad blood through that. Did you see Braylon Edwards tweet this week? He, of course, now an analyst in doing some things for college football, covering the game, but he put out a tweet, him catching a pass against Michigan State, and he said, I made a comment about little brother, and I don't think people in East Lansing took too kind to that tweet, but
no.
Gotta love rivalries in college football. It's what makes the game so great.
Yeah, indeed, it was the running back Mike Hart a decade ago who made that famous quote. 3rd down, 7 yards to go for Western Michigan. Bellamy beats his defender, but then gets tripped up and knocked down at the 27-yard line.
You know, Hodge doesn't make this tackle as Bellamy cuts back, but what he does is he does a great job cutting it back into his defense, and got a huge stop here for this Buffalo defense when we come back.
Back with the fourth quarter after this. And now for today's Game Track, brought to you by Taco Bell. Young Mr. Bellamy, only 18 yards from what would be a single-game career high in rushing yardage. A lot of the numbers even, but the reality is Western's made bigger plays here in the second half to enjoy this 10-point lead.
They have. At some point, Drew Anderson's going to have to step up and make a play for Buffalo. The running game of Western Michigan really took over here in the third quarter, and now, big stop there at the end of the third period, and now Buffalo's going to get an opportunity here with good field position.
Now the former Lehigh Valley Iron Pig with the punt. Former minor leaguer Derek Mitchell. It was a beauty. We've got flags down everywhere as the return continues for Buffalo up the sideline.
I mean, this is about as easy of a block in the back call as you're ever going to see. Both officials throw the flag at about the 8-yard line. Sometimes on special teams, these guys, I wonder what they're thinking. You're coming down, you see the back of a guy's jersey, and you immediately block him in the back. It's like, man, you're asking for a penalty. The refs never miss those calls.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 18, return team. Half the distance, first down.
We'll take a break with Buffalo down 10 to Western. Back in Buffalo, where a penalty against Buffalo's Roy Baker has made it a little bit tougher for the Bulls as they get the football back now even deeper in their own territory.
Watch 18 come in here, blocking the back. It's an easy call, and it's a pretty good return. It gets it out near the 40-yard line, and they're going to bring it all the way back now to half the distance to the goal. They're 1st and 10 at their own 5-yard line.
There's Drew Anderson, the 6'5 junior from Orinda, California. Pass incomplete through the hands of K.J. Osborne. Well, after a high-flying start to this game, Coach Leipold's team really has kind of fallen flat. Now they are missing playmakers, as we've talked about, backup quarterback, now third-string running back, but they still have to make things happen.
They do, and they've been close on several big-time plays here in the second half. I just think at some point, some of those big plays you had in the first quarter, you got to hit them here in the fourth quarter to get you back in the game.
They get the ball into the hands of Anthony Johnson to the 10, to the 15. And there's your big play receiver making a big play.
When you need a play, you've got to go to Anthony Johnson if you're Drew Anderson. And right here on 2nd and 10 at their own 5-yard line, it's a crossing route. He comes across in motion, goes out to the flat. I think it's a good block, a cut block down the field by Holsey. And then I love how Holsey gets up and tries to block somebody else. That's great effort on the outside from Kamadi Holsey.
Helping to pick up 18 yards. Now rolling right. Drew Anderson lofts it, wide open man. It's Johnson again. How was he so open? To the 30. Phillips chases him out of bounds.
Take a look at Anthony Johnson here. Back-to-back receptions. And it's on the outside. I think Phillips takes the cheese right there. You can't take the cheese. Got to get back in 3-deep zone coverage, and he does it. He comes up in the flat. You see the speed of Phillips to get him out of bounds, but man, you can't leave a receiver like that. Anthony Johnson wide open down the sideline, exactly what Buffalo's offense needed.
63 yards down to the 24-yard line. On the ground up the middle, Theo Anderson. And we saw Anthony Johnson after consecutive receptions, a little bit gassed. It is a hot, humid evening. It was 79 degrees at kickoff, and while most of the field now is in the shade, it still is a relatively warm evening here in Western New York.
Doug, if I'm Buffalo, I'm going right back at Darius Phillips. He just had to sprint his butt off 50 yards down the field to make a play. I'm going right back at him again.
The two Andersons next to each other. Drew, the quarterback. Theo now blocking for him. That's another completion, another Buffalo first down. And then a big hit to drop the receiver after picking up the yardage. Malik Rucker dropping Kamadi Holsey.
There's a look. This is, again, scramble drill. Good job by Holsey. He comes across inside, and then as he sees Drew Anderson, how about the hit at the end there by Rucker? But I think it's a good job. They do an excellent job, these receivers at Buffalo. I think because you're used to a quarterback who scrambles a lot, they're doing a good job with Drew Anderson.
And Theo Anderson up the gut one more time on first down.
Theo Anderson on the carry for the Bulls.
That'll bring up 2nd and goal as Buffalo looks to chop into this 10-point deficit. 12.5 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter.
How about this drive? 5 plays, 86 yards. You started at your own 5-yard line, and here you are with a perfect opportunity to get right back in this game. Partner, again, I mean, I hate to say it, but where's number 83 for Buffalo? Anthony Johnson. Top of your screen. Fade route on the outside.
And he does not have Phillips defending here. They go that way, and there is the touchdown. Little back shoulder throw, and the Bulls are right back in it.
Again, you need a play? Where's Anthony Johnson? I love this beautiful fade stop. The cornerback can't do anything about it. His head's turned, the ball's already out, and Johnson just is able to corral the football before the corner even knew it was there. That's a great throw and a better catch for Anthony Johnson.
The extra point is good. Well, Anthony Johnson had been, relatively speaking, kept in check until this drive, but this is when he took over. The redshirt junior from Rock Hill, South Carolina, makes it once again a 3-point game. Earlier today, the University at Buffalo broke ground on the Murchie Family Fieldhouse in honor of former UB hockey player Tunney Murchie and his family. A 1975 graduate, Murchie played hockey for UB from 1971 to 1973, and so by the spring of 2019, that facility should be completed to allow the University at Buffalo football program and other parts of the athletic department to enjoy it. Short punt to keep the ball away from Phillips, but he comes up to get it at the 20. But what that does is allow the kick coverage to get after him. And let's take a look at what the facility is going to look like in what is the end zone to our left as we stand here and watch this football game. And the specs, 92,000 square feet. It'll have a rubber track and will be one of just a few like it in the MAC. The fieldhouse scheduled again to be open up in spring of 2009. That's where it'll be. And when you and I come back here next week, those stands,
they'll be gone.
They'll be gone. So they're going to tear those down this week. The Jumbotron, the sign is staying, but the stands are coming down, and then they're going to build that indoor facility so that the Bulls don't have to go over and borrow the Buffalo Bills indoor complex, which they do many, many times throughout the year. But with traffic, it's a good 30 minutes each way to get from here to there. So it'll be nice to have it right just a short pass from the field to be able to get there.
Remember when I was with the Buffalo Bills, they would, a lot of the colleges would come down and use the indoor facility. Bills were very gracious enough to offer it up to some of the local colleges.
And on days like we're accustomed to here in Western New York, you don't want to be outside every day practicing if you don't have to.
No.
Franklin on the carry for Western Michigan.
Jarvion Franklin tackled by Khalil Hodge. And Jarvion Franklin's been carrying a much bigger part of the load here in the second half. He has what is now the difference in the game, his 48th career touchdown, 3 shy of the overall school record of 51 held by Corey Davis, last year's first-round draft pick, now with the Tennessee Titans. Rolling right, Wassink. Time to throw. Puts it up deep and way out of reach of Keyshawn Watson.
This is just great defense from Buffalo. What Western Michigan's trying to do is overload to the field side, and they try to roll the pocket with Wassink, and what they try to do is these little sail routes. So they got different levels. So you got a guy going deep, a guy coming short. And Buffalo double covered the deep route, which is past the sticks, and Wassink wanted to hit that route, but it was double covered. He throws it away, and another big stop for Buffalo with now a chance, Doug, to possibly take the lead.
KJ Osborne Back at his own 15-yard line to receive the punt from Derek Mitchell. And by the way, his teammates call him Grandpa, from what we understand. He's 30, he's married, he owns a house. His punt received at the 15-yard line. Osborne cannot turn the corner.
There was another block in the back, Doug, from Buffalo. They didn't call it, but I mean, you gotta lay off.
Buffalo down 3, gets the football back. Plenty of time on the clock.
Well, when you're down 10 points at your own 4-yard line, what do? You go to your top receiver, and that's exactly what Buffalo did on this last drive. Anthony Johnson with a bunch of catches, setting Buffalo up in great position to score, and that's exactly what he did here on the outside. A fade stop, beautiful throw from Drew Anderson as Buffalo goes 7 plays, 96 yards, and partner, we got a ball game.
Johnson now 7 catches, 135 yards. And Buffalo has 2 receivers, along with Kamadi Holsey, who've gone over 100 yards and counting. Drew Anderson, the man who's making it happen from the quarterback position, picks up 11 more yards on the short pass to Antonio Nunn. Well, this is the first time in a couple of years since Ron Willoughby and Matt Weiser turned the trick against Nevada that Buffalo's had 2 guys, same game, 100 yards or more receiving, and that man right there, Drew Anderson's been orchestrating it.
But these ridiculous numbers, 18 for 33, 343 yards for Anderson. This is just his second college start, a JUCO transfer from Diablo Valley Community College. And here he is starting in a big-time matchup on national TV.
To the air again, and another completion to Johnson. Out of bounds at the 43.
So much of playing the quarterback position is about rhythm and confidence, and right now, Drew Anderson has both. Watch, Anderson motions inside, creates a little bit of confusion. Obi Jackson passes it off to his safety, Ginwright, and that's about as good a throw as you're going to get between 2 defenders at the boundary.
Coaches love his accuracy throwing the football. They say he can spin the football extremely well. Osborne in motion. They keep the football on the ground.
Cameron Pickett on the carry for Bulls.
Anthony Johnson, 8 receptions for 151 yards. Yeah, you'll take an 18.9 yard average any day of the week, and he did have the most recent touchdown catch. And again, as Buffalo is trying to get back in position to take the lead in this game, Anthony Johnson, I think, will be a primary target here.
Well, Cameron Pickett got that last run for Buffalo, going deeper on that depth chart for Buffalo at the running back position. He's a redshirt freshman from Sewanee, Georgia, out of North Gwinnett High School. Out there again.
Got him.
Deep. That's his man. Buffalo retakes the lead on the pass to KJ Osborne. "54 yards makes it 27-24 Bulls."
This is what the athletic ability of Drew Anderson gives you. When he steps up in the pocket, guys become even more open. Watch number 8, top of your screen, double move on the outside like a wheel route, and I don't know what Obi Jackson's doing. You stare in the backfield, you watch quarterbacks complete passes, and that's exactly what Drew Anderson did right there. And Buffalo is back on top. Unbelievable. How many breakdowns are we going to see in the secondary, not just from Buffalo, from Western Michigan, but Buffalo as well. Both of these teams in the secondary not playing very sound football right now.
Mitchison boots the PAT between the uprights. Lance Leipold likes what he sees out of his quarterback and its offense. Anderson, 21 of 36 passing, 425 yards. We've got ourselves a football game. Along with Dustin Fox, I'm Doug Sherman. 28-24 Buffalo with consecutive touchdowns. Now 8:47 to go. And again, avoiding Darius Phillips.
Let's go back to that last touchdown. Now they hit the wide receiver KJ Osborne for the touchdown, but this is Anthony Johnson, other side. Darius Phillips again. Lazy coverage on the backside. I think that Drew Anderson, if he didn't find his guy at the top of the screen, he would have had Johnson wide open. Look at this. Tyree Jackson there, the starting quarterback. He is amped up for Drew Anderson, his second career start. That's great to see. What a great teammate that is. Tyree Jackson there showing some support for the guy that is starting in his place and maybe starting for longer than today.
We don't possibly have a budding, brewing quarterback controversy, do we?
Listen, you play the best guy. If you're Lance Leipold, you're trying to get wins.
Keeping the play alive, Wassink does a nice job to get positive yardage on a play that could have gone really bad for the Broncos.
I think Wassink ends up running about 50 yards in this play.
Just to pick up 7.
Just to pick up 7 yards. But again, very, very athletic quarterback. That's Wassink. I mean, we talked about he's a former basketball player at South Christian High School in Grand Rapids. Showed off his athleticism on that play.
He was a 2-time Division IV Michigan State champion with the Sailors in football. And as you mentioned, his prowess on the basketball court was the first thing that caught the attention of the Western Michigan coaching staff. First down with flags thrown on a tough run by Jarvion Franklin. Ishmael Hargrove being used in a rotation at outside linebacker this year with Jared Franklin making the stop.
Personal foul. Shot block. Number 59 and number 75 of the offense. 15-yard penalty, second down.
Well, that's your right guard, Luke Jariga, and your right tackle, Zach Novoselsky.
Can't go high-low. I mean, that's going to get called every time. You have one guy come up on a defender around the shoulder pads, and the other guy goes below the waist, and that is going to get called, and it is a huge loss for Western Michigan.
And even if it's unintentional, I mean, that stuff happens.
Hey, it's going to get called. And there's a look at your right tackle.
2nd and 17. Clean pocket. Plenty of time to throw. Ricci picks up 19 yards and a first down.
I love how Wassink steps up in the pocket and really steps into this throw to find Giovanni Ricci right over the middle on a deep dig. That's not an easy throw to make, and he had pressure coming on the outside. He had Damone Harris breathing down his neck.
We talk about some of the individual matchups in this game. Watch the left tackle against the defensive end Chuck Harris. It's been fantastic all game long. Big tackle by Khalil Hodge. But you know, we've talked about Okorafor, the senior left tackle for Western Michigan, and he has kept the blind side for John Wassink real clean all game long.
Yeah, there's a look at Okorafor, who is projected to be mid to early round draft pick. Mel Kiper has him ranked as his top 5 or in the top 5 of his offensive tackles heading into the season for the NFL draft. So we'll see what happens with him, but he is a very, very athletic left tackle, and you want to have somebody who's got nimble feet, and he is just that. And played soccer growing up. We talked about that a little earlier. Grew up in Nigeria and spent some time in South Africa before coming to the States.
That's Dwayne Eskridge coming off the field for Western Michigan. Yeah, and Chuck Harris, the defensive end for Buffalo, is a guy who people say will at least get a look next summer in somebody's NFL camp. And Okorafor has done a real good job of keeping him from getting to his quarterback.
Yeah, he's done an excellent job. I mean, this is tough duty for Wassink. I mean, he's got 2 really good bookend here defensive ends on Buffalo, and Damone Harris and Chuck Harris rushing the passer today, and I think Okorafor's done a great job.
Wassink hands off to Franklin, and that's good enough for a first down. He's still going inside the 35-yard line. They'll mark it at the 35.
Somehow Jarvion Franklin, I mean, he's bottled up. Probably going to be like a 5-yard gain or something, and then all of a sudden, you know, Franklin just rides the wave for an extra, I don't know, 6 or 7 yards for the first down.
Big number 77 was pushing him from behind. Out in space, Tyron Arnett tackled by the man with the club on his right hand, Cam Lewis.
How does he make this tackle? I mean, I can't imagine playing with a I don't even know what you call that. A club, I guess you call it, on your hand.
An oven mitt?
Yeah, look. That's a good analogy. It looks like an oven mitt. But he comes up and makes a great open field tackle.
So after no gain, it's 2nd down and 10. Pass complete. Curtis beat his first man, but then brought down at the 26-yard line. 10-yard gain. That's going to be very close to a first down. Looks like he's maybe a foot short, so it'll bring up third down in a few inches.
I mean, there is no question. I'm hurrying up to the line right now, and I'm giving this to Franklin.
Well, there you go. And it worked. Picked up the yard necessary, moved the chains, and the Broncos on the move with just over 5 minutes to go.
First and 10, Western Michigan at the UB 24.
First and 10 at the 24. The play clock down to 7. Wassink, all sorts of time. He's got a man. It's his tight end wide open, and the Bronx retake the lead on the touchdown pass to Donnie Ernsberger.
24 yards for the Western Michigan touchdown.
A 24-yard pitch and catch quiets this homecoming crowd in Buffalo.
Somehow Buffalo loses Ernsberger. I mean, he comes across, they throw it back to him, and everybody on Buffalo thought that they were going to go play side where they were shifting the pocket to as the side that Wassink was rolling out to. They double covered number 15, Giovanni Ricci. He had nowhere to go, and then they come right back to it. He sneaks out. They call that a Y hide type of play, and really good throw by Wassink.
Y hide?
Yeah,
The letter Y?
Yeah, because the Y is the name of the position for the tight end. And then as you try and hide him through the line of scrimmage, through the muck and all that stuff, and he gets through, comes out the backside wide open. And then Wassink just throws it with great touch for the touchdown.
Well drawn up, well executed. And the Bronx are back up 3. Well, tonight after Cal and Washington on ESPN, catch SportsCenter at night with Stan Barrett and Linda Cohn from L.A. They'll have all the college football highlights, plus the NL Division Series games, the NHL, NBA preseason, NFL news, and everything else. SportsCenter at night, also streaming live on the ESPN app. Dustin Fox, you are a Clevelander, born and raised, I think, in Canton. Is that right? So you've been an Indians fan for a long, long time. Your
Absolutely.
Indians are up 2-0 on the dreaded New York Yankees in their division series.
Hey,
is that series done?
Oh, yeah, it's over. And they'll finish this off in the Bronx tomorrow night. Frankie Lindor with the grand slam last night, and Jay Bruce tied it up, and Yan Gomes finished it off in the 13th inning.
Who's got a better smile in baseball than Francisco Lindor?
Nobody. They called him Mr. Smile when they had those nicknames on the back of jerseys.
Well, Buffalo's going to have to make something happen, and so they go with Anthony Johnson on that kick return, and kind of taking that same philosophy that Western Michigan takes with Darius Phillips. Get the football any way you can into your best player's hands.
Real easy. 83, find him. Where's he at? I don't care if he's matched up with Darius Phillips, the top corner for Western Michigan, or if he has to go against Sam Beal or Obi Jackson. You've got to find a way to get the football in the hands of number 83.
Drake Spears with the special teams tackle for the Broncos. Anthony Johnson,
top of the screen, coming in motion here.
Working on a big game stats-wise. They go right to him. Catches it shy of the 20, across the 25. Wrapped up from behind after a first down, gain of 11.
Again, you're going to see him top of the screen. Comes in motion. They understand it's zone coverage. It's not man. And so you know you're going to have him open. Good blocks down the field from the wide receivers in front. He cuts inside. Pitch and catch, first down. That's easy.
This is a new career high for Johnson, who had 140 yards receiving in the opener against Minnesota. He's well past that and counting here tonight. Drew Anderson. Nice catch by Osborne. The pass was a little bit behind him, but he's able to haul it in before Stefan Claiborne brought him down.
And Anderson over 430 yards passing today.
Man.
22 of 37 for 437, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Are you kidding me for a guy his second career start?
Is that good?
Yeah, that doesn't suck, partner. It's pretty good. Real good.
Well, he's the first Buffalo quarterback to go over 400 yards passing in a game since Joe Licata back in 2014 at West Point. Running the football, Theo Anderson. Now, what are you doing if you're Buffalo with the clock right now? Down 3, under 3.5 minutes to go and counting. What's the pace that you're looking at for this drive?
I think you got plenty of time. I mean, you don't want to take a snail's pace here, because if you get held up here on 3rd down, you have to punt the ball away, which that's okay. You've got a couple of timeouts in your pocket too, but you do want to be cognizant of where the clock is at, and at this point, you're just trying to get 4 yards.
Will they go to number 83 in blue? No, they'll run it with Theo Anderson. Breaks the first tackle, keeps fighting.
Great effort. That is just fantastic effort from Anderson. He was stopped about a yard short of the 1st down, and he keeps just driving those legs to the 1st down marker.
Well, his coaches call him the Hammer. They call him a hammer, and he certainly did it right there to get those extra 2 yards he needed to out to the 40-yard line.
Tough kid, too. He played his senior year. He had a torn labrum and a broken collarbone his senior year down in Largo, Florida. Still had 700 yards rushing.
Out of Indian Rocks Christian High School. With Emmanuel Reed out, presumably for the game. We've not seen him here in the second half. Buffalo just keeps moving the football. KJ Osborne with another big catch. And there is a Bronco slow to get up off the turf. It is Stephon Claiborne, the free safety, who immediately will lay back down.
Again, just look at the zip on the ball from Anderson. Steps up in the pocket, right over the middle between 2 defenders. He's open, but man, that thing has to be delivered on time, and it was.
24 yards on that pass play. Buffalo driving, down 3 late in the 4th quarter. Stephon Claiborne, sophomore free safety from Clinton Township, Michigan, walking off the field after this tackle.
6-yard gain on the previous play. Having 1st and 10 UB for Western Michigan 34.
I'll tell you what, KJ Osborne, who caught that pass, is having himself a career game, just like his teammates Kamadi Holsey and Anthony Johnson. Osborne now with 84 yards receiving. Drew Anderson at quarterback, flips it up again into double coverage. He was trying to find Anthony Johnson, and what they do is find a flag.
Obi Jackson and Ginwright out there on coverage, and they just can't hang with Johnson right now. Get a little bit of jersey.
Holding. Number 9, defense. 10-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Now, keep an eye on this too. Stephon Claiborne, number 21, who's out of this game, so they got to bring another backup safety in. As you go back and take a look at, watch 83 Anthony Johnson here. Ginwright, who's a safety, he grabs the jersey from behind, and now that's an easy call.
Well,
Easy
Ginwright,
call. Yeah, put the hand. I've been there. Trust me. People throw the hands up. I didn't do it. I think I led the Big Ten in pass interference my senior year.
attaboy. Well, Ginwright is the starting strong safety. Malik Rucker, the Iowa transfer, now in there for Claiborne as the backup free safety.
Theo Anderson on the carry for a good
Theo
gain.
Anderson with a short gain on 1st down. So now if you're Buffalo, you are certainly well within field goal range with 1:45 to go.
Yeah, but we got some wind right in the face of Buffalo's kicker. If they decide to do that, I would feel much more comfortable if I'm Lance Leipold if we can get about another 5-10 yards here to make the kick a little bit easier.
I'm sure Coach Leipold would rather just get it in the end zone and take the guesswork out. Just out of the reach of Mr. Osborne. Well, Drew Anderson, 24 of 39 passing, 467 yards. That's now 30 shy of Joe Licata's single game program record at Toledo back in 2013.
How about this little shout out to Joe Licata? Sent a tweet moments ago. He said, Drew Anderson having a day. Hashtag horns up, hashtag Maction, as he's watching at home somewhere.
There you go. Well, Joe Licata still lives here in Western New York, and he is a varsity football coach at Bishop Timon. So they played probably last night. Chance to watch it here this afternoon and this evening. On 3rd and 10, Drew Anderson with another completion. That certainly helps in terms of field goal range to Anthony Johnson.
Anthony Johnson.
Boy, this is the tough call here for Lance Leipold because your offense has been so efficient. You've pretty much been able to do whatever you want against this Broncos defense today, although...
But you have to kick the field goal.
I'm kicking it, yeah.
You have to, right?
I mean, it's 4th and 3. It's not like it's 4th and inches here.
If you don't get it, the game's over.
I think what he wants to do is he wants to run some clock off here before he decides to kick the field goal, because if you kick it, you tie the game, you're basically saying, we want to go to overtime, we're okay with that. But what we don't want to do is kick the ball to Darius Phillips on the back end of this, one of the most dangerous return men in the country, and allow them to get good field positions to try and kick a field goal.
And again, as you mentioned, the wind is a factor here tonight. It is in favor at the back of Western Michigan here in the second half. Well, Buffalo looking for its 4th straight win here tonight. And if they do it, it'll be the first time UB's done that since 2013. And now they're in the teeth of that MAC schedule. You and I will be back here next Saturday, the 14th, when Northern Illinois comes to town.
NIU off a big win today against Kent State at home in DeKalb, and they'll be coming here to take on Buffalo. Will Buffalo have its first 4-game winning streak since 2013?
Certainly could. But they need to make a play here. They've got their field goal kicker, Adam Mitchison, out there. The hold will be Kyle DeWeen. It's a 34-yard field goal attempt. His season long is 42, career long 45, but this is into a breeze. Placement is down, the kick is up, and it is good. 31-31. Buffalo and Western Michigan. An impressive drive for the Bulls.
Incredible. Just incredible. Western Michigan looked like they were going to be out of this football game, down 10 points in the 3rd quarter. Western Michigan had all the momentum, had opportunities to extend the lead. Buffalo comes up with a couple of big stops, and then Drew Anderson just took this game over offensively from the quarterback position from Buffalo and got them back in this game. I can't believe what I'm looking at right now. You may have been watching this game early 3rd quarter. There was like no emotion in the stands. The sideline on Buffalo was a little bit dead. You could feel it up here. No energy. And the energy in the 4th quarter just came right back to this team. And now you're looking at potentially overtime, but keep an eye on this kick, because if you look deep for Western Michigan, number 4, Darius Phillips, one of the dangerous return guys in all of college football.
And it's not going to get to him. Instead, it's Deshaun Foster. He's got the football, and you got to bring him down at the 42-yard line. So with 27 seconds to go, what can John Wasink and his Broncos offense do? Well, coming up tonight, 7:15 Eastern on ESPN, we'll get you to College Station, top-ranked Alabama, taking on 4-1 Texas A&M. That's about 17 minutes from now. Also streaming live on the ESPN app.
Jalen Hurts, if you haven't seen him, he has taken some serious growth this year at the quarterback position for the Crimson Tide.
Wasink in trouble. He goes down. Clock is running after the sack by Chuck Harris.
Now, Tim Lester's going to take one timeout here, but I'll tell you what, I'd be real nervous with this field position, dropping back Wasink again against those 2 bookend defensive ends. Harris, look at the Harris boys, not related, play like they're brothers.
Well, just a few minutes after I had said that Okorafor had done a nice job keeping Harris out of the backfield, Harris able to get the big sack to force the timeout.
Well, you love that as a defensive end, a pass rushing defensive end, especially a situation like this. You know it's a passing situation. You put that paw on the ground and you just get in that track stance and you say, I'm going to go get that quarterback. And that's what those guys did on that play. 22 seconds to go in this game, and you can feel it.
Who's going to make the big play? Here comes the rush again, held up nicely, and that's a beautiful ball thrown to Keyshawn Watson for a Western Michigan first down. 15 seconds on the clock.
My pet peeve, Doug, I hate to say it, is when defenses play prevent defense.
Western Michigan, second timeout.
They sit back in this umbrella coverage and they just allow everything wide open underneath. And so for Western Michigan, that's an easy 15-yard gain. And I just don't like that, because now Western's got a shot here to, where they need to get 15, 20 more yards with a timeout in their pocket to set themselves up for a game-winning field goal potentially, as you take a look at what Western Michigan has coming up here. Akron at Waldo Stadium next week, and then, of course, they go to the Factory to play Eastern Michigan October 21st.
Well, if you're thinking about the field goal kicker for Western Michigan, his name is Josh Grant. He's an excellent freshman with a pretty good foot. His long this year, 43 yards in the rout of Ball State last week. But keep in mind, he's got the wind at his back. And so if the Broncos can get him another 10, 12, 14 yards, he might have a legitimate shot. 1st and 10, 15 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. They'll run it up the middle to the 36-yard line. Another 10-yard gain.
See, I love what Buffalo did right there. They hold him up. A couple more seconds, tick off the clock now. 7 seconds to go. Had he went to the ground, there probably would have been about 3 more seconds on the clock.
Timeout. Yeah, Western Michigan with 3 seconds on the game clock here in the stadium.
So I think what Leicester will do here, I would imagine, is set up a Hail Mary throw. I mean, I guess you could take a shot with your field goal kicker. You do have the wind at your back, but this is a long kick. We're talking a 52-yard attempt.
I don't know. I might kick it.
You think so?
Josh Grant was a highly touted place kicker coming out of high school, replaced the outstanding freshman of a year ago, Butch Hampton, who decided to switch over to soccer. And at the point where he left, Grant was a late sign for this new coaching staff. Tim Lester, thrilled to have him, and he's going to give his 18-year-old freshman an opportunity to win it right here.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're the center, you feel when a nice big wind gust comes behind you, then you snap it back and hope your kicker can get a little bit of an extra boost on this thing. All right, Lance Leipold going to try and ice him.
Well, Wyatt Pfeiffer is your 4-year starting long snapper for Western Michigan, so he's not going to shy away from the big moment.
Correction. That's Buffalo's 3rd and final timeout.
So Buffalo has used all of its timeouts. And there you see Grant with the 44-yarder earlier today, and that is his new career best after the 42-yarder a week ago.
Remember, he missed the kick. It's not like you lose the game. So the pressure's sort of off for Grant in this situation. You see him dancing around the sidelines there.
Well, the last time Western Michigan had a game-winning field goal, it was against Buffalo back in 2008 when John Potter booted a 28-yarder. This is a 52-yard attempt by the freshman Josh Grant. He kicks it away, but it's too low, way off the mark. Zeros on the clock, and we are headed to overtime. So let's send it to a break. Catch your breath and come back with the overtime between Buffalo and Western Michigan. With Dustin Fox, I'm Doug Sherman. Here's how we got to this point after a thrilling fourth quarter.
And Drew Anderson took over this game in the fourth quarter, finding his wide receiver KJ Osborne right there. There's the touchdown to Anthony Johnson, who had a big third quarter. Western Michigan came back. They take the lead, but Buffalo, they weren't done. There's the missed kick, the 52-yard attempt. That would have won the game for Western Michigan, and Lance Leipold is pumped. He knows he's got a shot here to get a big win at home. In Buffalo, they haven't been on a 4-game winning streak since 2013. You know, both teams looking to win 4 in a row, Western Michigan as well. What a great game we've had.
Well, there's a lot of folks here in Buffalo, Dustin, who felt coming into this game that this was the game that would determine which way their season would go. Regardless of which quarterback they've got, they felt like with the way the schedule sets up, if they can win this game against a real good Western Michigan team, it could vault them towards a bowl game. And if you lose it, who knows where you're going to go. Yeah. So that's what's at stake here. On the flip side, as you see Tyree Jackson sitting out a 2nd straight game with that left knee injury. And he has practiced a little bit. They're still hopeful he'll be back in a week or 2 perhaps. But for Western Michigan, same kind of thing. I mean, they played for national stakes last year. They made it to the Cotton Bowl undefeated last year. Sure, they lost a lot of talent, lost their coach to Minnesota, but there's a lot riding on it for Western Michigan, now looking for their 4th straight win.
Offense, defense, or okay? You have 1 timeout per inning. No timeouts carry over. Understand?
Love the baseball reference.
I love it.
You're the visitors. What's your toss? Tails. It's a tail. Western Michigan has won the toss. They have chosen to go on defense. Western Michigan will be on defense. Buffalo's ball, 1st and 10.
Well, there you go. You can't get it much better explained than our referee Ron Hudson did for you right there. And so Buffalo and Western Michigan will go to the wind-aided end of the field, where field goals should be easier.
Now, Drew Anderson has played a near perfect game today. This is the one time, I mean, you have a turnover when you've got the first possession of an overtime. You know, Western Michigan, that's why you want to go on defense, because you want to force a turnover or try to hold them to 3, and then you can win at the bottom of the inning like you talked about there. There's a look at Jamari Bogan, who left the game earlier. We'll see if he's going to go back inside.
Apparently came out just for the overtime coin flip, and now their redshirt junior from Union, New Jersey heads back to the locker room as the Buffalo offense comes out first with Drew Anderson.
I just think if you're Buffalo, I mean, you're playing with sort of house money here. You've come back in this game, and you've got all the momentum at this point. So Drew Anderson, let it rip.
Well, that he does, going for it all on 1st down. Had a chance to be intercepted, and then Johnson actually got a look at it, but it's just a loud incompletion.
A deep sigh of relief from Lance Leipold, and I think from Drew Anderson, the quarterback, too. He does let it rip there on that first play, but remember, you got to get 1st downs here. You got to try and move the football inside the 15-yard line, give yourself a chance. Even at this point, I don't think a field goal is guaranteed, so you got to at least get some positive yards.
No, not at all. From here, it would be about a 42-yard field goal. Even with the win, that's no chip shot. Pass deflected at the line of scrimmage and falls incomplete. And we've got an injured Bronco.
I'm out on the field.
That's the defensive tackle, Andre Turner, senior from Detroit out of Chandler Park Academy. He was such a key part of last year's 13-1 team that finished 15th in the country after the loss to Wisconsin in the Cotton Bowl.
All right, so 3rd and 10 coming up here. Huge play, probably the biggest play of the game for Buffalo. Do you consider running the ball?
Yes.
I do too. You've already seen 2 passes nearly intercepted.
Yep.
And at this point, your defense has played pretty well. I would try and get half this. Like, let's try to get 5 yards. You never know. You may bust it free for a 1st down, but at least try and get 5 more yards. Give your field goal kicker a little bit more room for error. You do have the wind at your back, but at 42 yards, you'd feel a heck of a lot better, wouldn't you, if it was 37? So I think that's sort of the strategy. At least that would be my strategy going into this on this 3rd and 10. Because you throw an incomplete pass, all of a sudden you got to force your field goal kicker out there to hit a big one.
Obviously, they are looking at the right knee of Andre Turner. Well, place kicker is the one position in football where what's going on between your ears is so important. I heard Phil Simms, the longtime CBS announcer, former New York Giants great quarterback. And so right now I got to figure Adam Mitchison feels good about himself. He just a few minutes ago kicked the tying field goal to get us to overtime. So like you said, maybe pick up 4, 5, 6 yards here, concede and go for the field goal. You've got a kicker feeling good about himself right now.
I'm thinking draw or screen.
The running back is Theo Anderson. The quarterback is Drew Anderson.
Never mind.
He's got himself a 1st down.
Wow, what a throw. What a call from Andy Kolonicki, the offensive coordinator. They roll the pocket and again go back to Osborne. This is a dangerous call. They roll the pocket. run that deep out as they run the X receiver Anthony Johnson off, so they open up the underneath route, and that's a great throw from Anderson. I'm so surprised. I thought they'd surely run the football and try to be a little conservative and kick the field goal. Instead, they were uber aggressive. I love it.
98 yards receiving now for Osborne. They'll run it this time on first down. Theo Anderson tripped over the 10-yard line.
Theo Anderson on the carry, a gain of 1.
They'll say he picked up a yard. Well, we have repeatedly seen Tyree Jackson, the injured quarterback, on the sideline cheering on his replacement Drew Anderson, who continues to play so well in his stead. Anthony Johnson goes in motion. Pass, little low, and Johnson makes sure that that was a forward pass. Incomplete. That's about the only inaccurate pass we've seen thrown by Drew Anderson today.
26 of 45. He needs 12 yards, and he goes over the 500-yard mark. I mean, this is a guy, Doug, that last week against Kent State, I mean, he only threw the football 18 times. And I asked Coach this week, I said, is that sort of the game plan? Do you want to, tempo it back because he's a backup quarterback? He said, He said, we're going to open it up this week.
Well, indeed they have. 3rd down and 9. Are they aggressive again? Drew Anderson against the corner blitz, able to get rid of it, but he couldn't connect with Osborne. And that'll bring up 4th down and 9 from the 10-yard line. And so now Adam Mitchison will come on. And from the right hash, he'll have a 26, 27-yard attempt to take the lead.
27-yard field goal.
There are the numbers on Mitchison today, the junior from Pittsburgh. And again, remember, this is not sudden death, so now Western Michigan will get the football with an opportunity to tie it with a field goal or win it with a touchdown.
Yeah, but still the pressure, I think, goes back onto Western Michigan at this point. Look at it.
Yeah, we got a flag.
Yeah, there's a flag down.
Huh.
It's on Western. You're going to decline it.
Personal
regardless.
foul. Number 33.
Oh boy, that's
defense.
a first down.
Stepped on a player and jumped. After distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Eric Asua.
This is something that they have been emphasizing here on these field goal kicks. 33, Eric Asua. You can't step on one of your players to try and block the kick.
And so now he's taken out of the game and hears about it on the sideline. So it's now 1st and goal at the 5, and take another look. Yeah, he did. He absolutely climbed on his teammates.
Well, and Buffalo. Some of the offensive linemen for Buffalo jumps on top of him, and that's going to get called.
Into the end zone.
Yes, sir.
Touchdown, Buffalo. Kamati Holsey, one of their other 100-yard receivers today.
I thought it looked just like Johnson going up to catch the football. And then it's an amazing catch from Holsey. Again, just a really, really good throw from Drew Anderson. Watch this. It's a rifled this thing in there. That's a bullet to Holsey. And again, they're picking on the corner, Obi Jackson. It's the 2nd time in the red zone they've went at number 24, and it has been a touchdown for Buffalo.
And now the stakes are that much higher for Western Michigan. The penalty takes 3 points off the board, but allows Buffalo to put 7 up.
Again, the run fades both sides, top and bottom. It's a back shoulder throw. And again, as a defender, and I've been there so many times as a cornerback, this back shoulder throw is so difficult to defend. You don't know when the ball is coming. If you're playing man coverage, your eyes are on your defender, and all of a sudden, the football is there. And Holsey just does a great job hauling it in with his hands. And because of the jumping on the pile penalty, a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty after the made field goal, Buffalo got a free first down, and they capitalize.
Drew Anderson now with 4 touchdown passes. Joe Licata, the aforementioned former quarterback, the last to do it for UB. That was at Massachusetts 3 years ago. So now it's the Broncos' turn. What will John Wasink do? Hand it off to Jarvion Franklin. He picks up 9. Tackled by Tim Roberts, the senior strong safety from Hahnville, Louisiana.
So remember, we started the show with the 3-headed monster in the backfield with Bogan, Franklin, and Bellamy, and now we're down to 1. Jarvion Franklin, the only healthy one left for Western Michigan, and he is certainly capable of handling that workload, and he has done a great job in the second half of doing just that.
Now, one monster is better than none. Unable to pick up the first down yardage. He had to get to the 15, couldn't get there. And there is Bogan, who has been sidelined much of the second half and overtime with what appeared to be some sort of neck injury. And now Levante Bellamy, who rushed for over 100 yards in the first half here today, on crutches. He's been dealing with a bad ankle.
There is no doubt in my mind that 31's getting this ball.
On 3rd and 2. Hard to stop him twice, and on consecutive runs up the middle, this time Franklin finds just enough room.
There's no chance that they're going to throw the football on 3rd and 1 with Wasink. No way. Not going to risk a turnover. You've only got to get a yard. You're going to give it to your monster running back, Jarvion Franklin, to get you a tough yard. And frankly, Doug, at this point, I'm just going to keep running the ball. I think you're sort of wearing out the Buffalo interior defensive line. Just keep giving the rock to 31.
And you figure Franklin is fresher than everybody else out there on play action. It's the tight end once again for a touchdown. Ernsberger draws the Broncos back within a point.
Great job on the play action of Wasink. I think he had a lot of the Buffalo defenders fooled.
And now we've got flags coming in as there seemed to be somebody run across the field. A young lady just ran across the field, is now being dealt with by security.
Well, they'll handle that.
Well, that's the.
No foul on the play. We will try the point.
We presume that is the sister of the guy who just caught the touchdown. She's wearing a 85 sister jersey.
I don't even know what happened there. That whole sequence was bizarre.
Timeout, Buffalo.
Did she run on the field?
She ran on the field. So she goes out to celebrate with her brother, and the game's not over.
What is she doing? I mean, you got to be kidding me.
Oh, man. So Donnie's looking at his sister saying, "What are you doing?" And if you're the officials, what do you call?
I'm about as speechless as you. I've never seen a sister or a family member run onto the field and celebrate with a family member after a touchdown in an overtime of a game on national television. I've never seen that before, partner.
Wow.
I've never seen that before.
Wow. All right. A PAT will extend the game. A miss will give the game to Buffalo. The freshman Grant.
You think she thought they won the game there? Was trying to go celebrate?
I would think.
Yeah, they're gonna send her on her way. Again, I can't believe.
And enjoy the drive back to Battle Creek. Give me the car keys. I'm on my way.
Get the keys from Mom, and
wow,
here we go. Yeah.
I think we may see that on SportsCenter at some point.
That was wild, man.
Wow. Well, her brother turns 21 on Friday the 13th of October, coming up in a few days. But sister has grabbed the headlines for the moment. All right, so anyhow.
Let's play some football.
How about that? So after each team has scored a touchdown, we'll do it again. That was the 4th touchdown of the day for John Wasink. He has thrown for 240 yards, 21 of 26 passing. He's been about as efficient as you could ask, but Drew Anderson's got the bigger numbers for Buffalo. Wasink to Franklin. He's got a huge hole, spins across the 15-yard line. And the Broncos are 12 yards away from retaking the lead.
And I think they're riding the momentum here. Again, look at the tempo. They're going to get up to the line of scrimmage, get the play call in from the sidelines. And why wouldn't you? When you've just scored a touchdown, you've got all the momentum on your side, and Buffalo's defense has to go right back on the field. Again, just keep hammering them with that tempo.
It's Franklin again, and he is dumped at the line of scrimmage. Ishmael Hargrove with another tackle, the senior from Cleveland. It was a loss of 1 on the play, so 2nd and 11. Watson in motion. They hand him the football. He's going to throw it back to the quarterback, Wasink, and he walks into the end zone for a Western Michigan touchdown.
I don't know if Buffalo watched the tape from the USC game in week 1, but this is the exact same play they ran against the Trojans, and it is the exact same result. They're going to bring in motion Keyshawn Watson, same guy. Throws a touchdown back across the field to the quarterback, John Wasink, and it's the exact same play they ran against the Trojans in week 1 at the Coliseum, and they use it in double overtime against Buffalo.
Yeah, that one against SC went for 27 yards. This one, though, was bigger because here in OT, it's got the Broncos back up by 6. Josh Grant. And now Buffalo's turn to play from 7 points down.
Well, remember, you get into the 3rd overtime, then you stop kicking PATs. It goes to, you have to go for 2. I'm just looking ahead here. If you're Lance Leipold and you score a touchdown, you go for 2, or you kick the field goal and send it to triple OT. Because remember, you're going. This 4-down territory. You're
right.
There's no field goals here. You're going for it, or you're going home.
I think I would kick the PAT here and take my chances in the 3rd overtime.
Got to score first, and that's what Drew Anderson's up against right now in his 2nd career start in double overtime on homecoming against Western Michigan.
Drew Anderson into the end zone. The one-handed attempt is no good, but what an effort by Antonio Nunn.
What makes the effort even better is the fact that he's getting grabbed by Stephon Claiborne, the safety, who's back in the game, left earlier with an injury. Watch number 21 here, isolated slot receiver Nunn. 21's going to grab him, and then he still almost hauls it in with one hand against the helmet. Good effort.
2nd down and 10. The running back is Theo Anderson. The quarterback, Drew Anderson. With the pocket collapsing, he just throws it up to the end zone, and it's intercepted.
Oh, it's a touchdown. It's a touchdown. Anthony Johnson somehow hauls this in.
Touchdown.
Anthony Johnson, number 83 at the top of your screen. Again, Drew Anderson, he's going to be pressured in the pocket. And I think he just knows he's got to get this ball away or he can't take a sack. 83 right there, matched up against Darius Phillips. What a great throw. Look at him. Go get that thing. Get the 2 feet down in bounds.
Man.
And now Buffalo with the chance to tie to send a triple overtime.
Well, for some reason, I thought Phillips may have come down with it, but my goodness, it was very clear that Anthony Johnson makes the big play. That's a new single-game passing record in Buffalo history for Drew Anderson, and on to triple OT. Let's recap overtime, how we got to this now third
In this
OT.
overtime period, no points will be scored for kicked extra points.
Kamadi Holsey with the first touchdown.
There's Ernsberger.
Ernsberger before his sister came out. There she is, little sisterly love.
Let me shout out a guy on Twitter said in Euro football, when supporters run onto the field, it's deemed a pitch invasion. So is that a pitch invasion there by
I think so.
Ernsberger's sister as the throwback touchdown from Watson? And then how about your guy, your #1 receiver, Anthony Johnson, coming up with a huge touchdown catch to send this baby to triple OT.
With 518 yards passing and counting. Theo Anderson from Drew Anderson does a nice job to pick up yards after the catch. That's a 9-yard gain.
I can't believe the zip on the football that Drew Anderson possessed. I mean, this is a difficult throw. I mean, he's almost at the far hash. He throws it out there. It looks like an easy pitch and catch, for 7-8 yards, whatever. But most quarterbacks can't make that throw. This guy possesses some serious skill. I don't know how he hasn't seen the field since he's been at Buffalo. He's thrown for 526 yards and 5 touchdowns with no picks in this game. Talk about stepping up when the lights are brightest.
2nd and 2. Lofts it up toward the end zone, trying to find Johnson. A lot of contact, and then the flag comes. Well, it's the same story again. A taller receiver, Anthony Johnson, at 6'2", trying to be defended by Obi Jackson, who's only 5'10". And Buffalo, time and again, with both Johnson and Holsey, have gone to that same play with success.
Pass interference, number 24, defense. Ball will be placed at the 2-yard line, automatic first down.
They keep going at Obi Jackson here on the outside, the cornerback opposite Darius Phillips. He's having his hands full today with Anthony Johnson. Again, hands all over the jersey. The official throws it. Pretty easy call to me.
So it's 1st and goal at the 2.
Again, defensive backs never think they grab jersey.
They never do.
Never,
right?
never.
The ball's loose. Western Michigan has it. The fumble by Theo Anderson gives it back to the Broncos.
You
Keep
have
in
got
mind,
to be kidding me.
No kicks here in the third overtime. So they still got to score the touchdown. The recovery by Stephen Clark, the Syracuse transfer out of tiny Arab, Alabama, who was declared medically disqualified by the team doctor at Syracuse after last season. He wound up transferring to Western Michigan, getting cleared medically, and now comes up with a huge play.
Yeah, watch Anderson. Ball security.
I think it was Clark who stripped him as well. I think it was Clark's left hand that might have gotten in there, and then he recovered. He was the first to know it had come loose because he's the one who jarred it.
Just to clarify, you can kick a field goal to win the game. No PATs in the third overtime. So Western Michigan can line to get themselves in position to kick a game winner.
Buffalo's defense allows a couple of yards to Jarvion Franklin.
Hargrove and Williams in the tackle for the Bulls. Unit 2 on the play, 2nd and 8 for Western Michigan in the UB 23.
Keeping it on the ground, staying safe to Franklin. Inside the 20.
Jarvion Franklin on the carry. It's third down.
3rd down and 3 yards to go.
Well, conservative here, I'd imagine, on 3rd down. You want to make sure that you run something towards the middle of the field. Jarvion Franklin to set up your kicker. to try and hit himself a game winner or pick up the first down.
Franklin dropped at the 15, and that is a first down.
If I'm Coach Lester, I'm considering at some point here just taking Wasink, dropping him back, and centering this baby up and thinking about kicking a field goal.
Franklin, gain of a yard. And there's head coach Tim Lester in his first year at his alma mater, trying for their 4th consecutive win.
Well, if you're Buffalo, the only thing you can do here is try and force a turnover. So if you're a defender, second, third guy in the pile, you've got to be trying to strip this ball out and get yourself another opportunity.
Franklin drilled at the 15-yard line. Damone Harris.
Franklin on the carry. Loss of 2 on the play. It's third.
And there's Theo Anderson, who coughed up the football on Buffalo's last possession. Stephen Clark is the man who forced and recovered the fumble. Franklin dives through the pile for 3.
All right, 4th down, so now you've got to kick it. Here comes Josh Grant. Freshman kicker. Going to come out with an opportunity to win this game. He missed the kick that would have won it in regulation. It was a 52-yarder. He kicked a little bit of a knuckleball. But earlier in the game, he did hit a 44-yarder, which is a career long, and now with the biggest kick of his life. No chance they're going to let him kick it.
Nope.
Coach Leipold's going to ice him.
Buffalo.
The Bulls
That's
have
one timeout of the overtime period.
the timeout to use, and so they do. And now if you're Buffalo, you're just hoping either for a block or for a mishandled snap or just a shank.
Well, here's what I wonder. You remember the kick that Grant missed at the end of regulation?
There is no foul for delay of game.
It wasn't even like a
Timeout
end-over-end kick.
requested
It was like it was like a sidewinder.
Yeah.
So, you know, kicker psyches are. I mean, like that could be in his head right now. You got to go back out here now with a much easier kick. But the last kick you had didn't even look like a kick. And we're talking about a freshman here on the road.
And it's the 30-year-old punter who is the holder. Derek Mitchell, Wyatt Pfeiffer, the long snapper for Western. For the win from 30 yards away. Josh Grant's kick is up.
No good.
And no good, wide right.
He pushed it. You wonder if the missed kick at the end of regulation is weighing on his mind in the back of his head as he goes out there with an opportunity to win the game. And you thought this thing was over. Now let's go back and take a look at the snap. Take a look. I think that's fine. Good hold by Mitchell. All right, so 4th overtime. Last time you and I were here, we had Buffalo and Army a couple years back, and that was an overtime game. The Buffalo won. You and I, we get together, we work overtime.
Extra football.
Yeah, man.
Free football.
We don't get paid more, but we get more excitement. I love it. I love it.
We do. And it just keeps going. And we had that shot of Josh Grant, the young man, only 18 years old, who just missed that field goal. And that is the loneliest place on the planet right now. Trying to forget about that, collect himself, and hope that he gets another opportunity. Franklin, the double reverse. Nice open field tackle to bring Keyshawn Watson to the turf after a gain of 3. That was Jarrett Franklin, the senior captain from St. Charles, Missouri.
How happy right now is Theo Anderson, the tailback from Buffalo, who fumbled on the last possession, thought he had lost the game for his team, and now they have life again as we're into the 4th overtime.
And as we've said, who's going to make a play?
Somebody.
Jarvion Franklin certainly can make plays. It's a big gain inside the 10-yard line. He's gone over 100 yards rushing for the game.
Well, the great thing is your Buffalo, you're going to get another shot. You're going to be able to get your offense back out there on the field again with an opportunity, as they said in Dumb and Dumber, to totally redeem themselves. But you'd certainly like a stop or a turnover here to set up your next possession.
Franklin stopped at the 5-yard line. In on the hit, Justin Brandon, the outstanding defensive tackle for UB.
Williamson made the tackle for the Bulls. Second and goal for Western Michigan at the UB 5.
Jarvion Franklin now with 125 yards rushing. Senior from Tinley Park, Illinois. Franklin again spins off the tackler. Good pursuit by the secondary. Ryan Williamson helped to wrap him up shy of the goal line.
Khalil Hodge, the middle linebacker, number 4, he doesn't miss many tackles. He missed that one on Franklin. He's got 16 tackles today. Excuse me, 17 as the stat monitor updates. 17 tackles, 12 solos, and an interception. That's a workman-like day for Khalil Hodge. He was so upset he missed that tackle. Had 20 tackles back against Minnesota here on a huge 3rd and goal. Let's see if he can come up with a big stop.
Wassink hands to Franklin, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Broncos. Western Michigan back in front. 51-45.
Well, you've got to draw up your best 2-point conversion play here if you're Western Michigan. These are some things you work on throughout the week. You have a period designed for it, especially on Fridays. When you go through your walkthrough session, you work on your 2-point plays. And this is their best one. See if they let Wassink put it up in the air. I'm looking for Ernsberger here. He seemed to make some plays down the red zone.
Direct snap. Here comes Watson. Fakes the pass, dives towards the end zone.
So instead of going with your standard, I don't know, 3-step slant or fade or corner route or handing the football off to Franklin, you decide to go wildcat reverse with Keyshawn Watson. And look at the effort here. It looks like he fakes it like he's going to throw it, a pump fake. He gets pummeled at the end by Khalil Hodge, but not before he finds the end zone to put Western Michigan up by 8. Wow, look at that effort.
We have seen the versatility of Keyshawn Watson here in the overtimes. He had the touchdown pass to his quarterback, John Wassink, and there he was thinking about trying to throw for the 2-point conversion. Instead, he pinballs his way into the end zone. So now down 8. Buffalo needs a touchdown of its own and a 2-point conversion of its own. Pass thrown away by Drew Anderson.
Anderson's got to be careful. A couple times he has been a little bit loose with that ball. When he drops back, he feels a little bit of pressure and he just throws it up for grabs. There, he's lucky there was no defender in the area. Again, I feel like you can be so aggressive here. Drew Anderson has had such a monster game. Where is number 83? Well, bunch set top. He's top of the screen. They bring Osborne in motion, who's been a big-time playmaker as well.
Looking toward Johnson. Instead, throws inside the 10-yard line to Kamadi Holsey. Buffalo knocking on the door one more time.
Doug, this guy is just blowing me away with his poise. 2nd and 10, fourth overtime. Again, they go hurry up. I like this call by Lance Leipold.
They give the football to the redshirt freshman being forced into duty, Cameron Pickett. Gain of 1.
All right, so 4 chances here. There's 1 to find the end zone. You only need 4 yards.
Osborne goes out. Zach Lefebvre, the backup tight end, comes in.
I'd hit one of those play action, move the pocket type throws. And look how the short split here from Holsey. He can work that whole outside. There you go.
Looking that way, and he had the pass, but just couldn't haul it in.
And he pushed off, too. It probably should have been pass interference on Holsey, offensive pass interference. He gets away with it. And now he's down. Look at the push off on this play by Holsey.
Timeout for an injured player.
Boy, you got to catch that. You see Obi Jackson, 24, with his hands up. Like, how do you think this separation of 4 yards just happened when I was like just next to him?
Thinking you've been calling pass interference on me all night.
Yeah, can I get a break? Well, ball don't lie. So incomplete pass, and we'll take another one. But Holsey's down. There's another look at it from the tight angle. Watch Holsey push off right there. And the official, the line judge, I mean,
yeah,
it's right in front of you. Lets him get away with that one.
And that is Kamati Holsey, the senior out of Oscar Smith High School in Virginia, who is being treated. He has had a career game. He has enjoyed 6 catches for 143 yards and a touchdown. Anthony Johnson, 11 catches, 195 yards and 2 touchdowns. KJ Osborne, Jacob Martinez, they both have touchdown receptions. And as you've mentioned, Drew Anderson, what a stat line. 546 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions.
So as Holsey's been down for a couple minutes here, Buffalo has had plenty of time to draw up their best 2 plays. Really 3 plays, because you may have to go for 2. You will have to go for 2, but you're thinking, hey, we got to get in the end zone here. What a game.
You know, some of the numbers are just going to be ridiculous, and it's obviously skewed by having the overtime periods, but we had big numbers through 4 quarters as well. Buffalo is on the verge of setting a new program record for total offense, which has stood since before the program went to the FBS level. Dating back to 1998, they had 628 yards against Canisius. They are at 626 and counting here in this one. So 2 chances to punch it in here on 3rd and goal from inside the 5-yard line. Anderson again. Osborne. And he is able to haul it in for a touchdown.
Such a great play design. It's a legal pick play that allows Osborne to get a little bit of separation off the line of scrimmage. As you see the defender there, Brad Tanner, the backup safety, chasing from behind, and Osborne, who has just had an unbelievable day. The sophomore, again from Ypsilanti, who spent some time at the IMG Academy. The thing about Osborne you love, you look at those hands. When you put him in a situation like that, he's got strong hands. And so here as Buffalo goes for 2.
If they don't get it, Western Michigan will win its 4th straight game, and the timeout is called.
Timeout. Buffalo. That's their 1 timeout for this overtime period.
Well, for the
30-second
first time in Buffalo football history, 3 receivers, same game, more than 100 yards. Osborne now with 102, Holsey 143, Johnson pushing 200. He's up to 195, and that's with their backup quarterback.
Go back and look at the 3rd overtime and see how we've arrived in the 4th overtime of this game. go back. Grant with a missed field goal opportunity, would have been a walk-off winner. And then you come back and Franklin puts it in, and here we are. Buffalo scores a touchdown. Now they got to go for 2 to try and force a
Western
5th
Michigan.
overtime.
That's their one timeout for this
Western
overtime period.
uses
This will be a 30-second timeout.
its timeout.
Now, we spoke to Andy Kolonicki, who's the offensive coordinator for Buffalo this week, and he said that KJ Osborne, number 8 right here, is pound for pound the strongest guy on the team. And you see how strong those hands are. I mean, he's not the biggest guy, 6 foot 200 pounds, which is excellent size for a wide receiver. But he's so strong and physical, especially at the line of scrimmage, that they really think he could develop into a special one here. And he said, Kolonicki's told us that he really wants to master his trade, so he works at it every day.
Double reverse.
Got it.
Indeed they do. The quarterback, Drew Anderson, on the receiving end of the pass from Anthony Johnson.
Wow. How about this? In overtime, both teams have used a double pass back to the quarterback. One to Wasink for a touchdown by Western Michigan, and now Buffalo goes to a little trickeration as well. How about this? They bring Osborne in motion. He double reverses it back to Anthony Johnson. How does Johnson get it off? And then at the end for Drew Anderson, who's a quarterback who barely plays, to hold on to that ball as Obi Jackson, number 24, comes in and gives him a big hit. I don't think this game wants to end. The football gods, they want to see this game go on forever.
Well, I think it's going to go on forever. My goodness, tied at 53. Now somebody down below us just yelled out, let's go to 100. First to 100 wins. So the Buffalo offense back out there on the 25-yard line. And again, it's the 4th string running back for Buffalo getting the football. Cameron Pickett. The starter, Jonathan Hawkins, remains sidelined again this week. Emmanuel Reed, who had been on some kind of roll the last 3 weeks, averaging 125 yards per game, out with an injury. And now Theo Anderson, who had been carrying the bulk of the load, has given way to Cameron Pickett. Second down and 12. Drew Anderson has an open man, but Osborne unable to hang on to it. That'll bring up 3rd down and long.
Man, I just gave you tons of props, Osborne, for those hands, and then that one about as easy of a catch as you can make. Wouldn't have been a first down, but it would have been probably a 7 or 8 yard pickup, and it would have allowed a much more manageable 3rd down situation. Instead, 3rd and 12. And you got to get some yards here. You absolutely got to get at least 5 to 7 yards, I think, to make it an easier kick for your field goal kicker here.
Osborne's in the slot. Nunn wide left, Johnson wide right. Anderson over the middle. He's got a man. Touchdown Buffalo. Osborne one more time.
And then you go and totally redeem yourself. Now I got it in. There you go. Osborne, what a catch. He just has the drop on 2nd down. Comes back for his 2nd touchdown reception of this overtime. Right in the slot. This is called a little bang 8 right down the seam. And this ball, how about, you can't throw that football any better. That is zipped in there for Osborne.
Buffalo.
Wow.
First timeout of this overtime period. 30-second timeout.
Well, the folks in the stands are getting their money's worth. The folks on ESPNU watching from home.
This game wasn't even supposed to be an ESPNU game to start the week.
No. The Tulsa Tulane game in New Orleans was moved up to a morning kick today because of the hurricane that was coming in from the Gulf. It was supposed to be a 4 o'clock kick down in New Orleans. But because that game had to be moved, this game got shifted to a 3:45 kick. We're in our 5th hour of the game.
I can't believe it. I mean, this is about as much fun as you're going to have watching a football game or calling a football game. You and I, we talked about, we called an overtime game here against Army a couple years ago.
Well, now the 2-point conversion with Pickett, the running back. This is the fifth overtime game in UB history. They went this long against Stony Brook 4 years ago. Pass complete.
Guess who?
KJ Osborne.
Got a flag, though. Have to look at this and see if it's going to come back. Yeah, Buffalo looks like it's against them. They're all upset.
Pass interference. Offense. 15-yard penalty. Retry the down.
At the moment, quarterback Drew Anderson has thrown for 577 yards. That's the most this season in the NCAA. And his 7 passing touchdowns are the most in Buffalo history. Joe Licata still tweeting out there. All of his numbers are going to be broken by the end of the night.
Twitter's blowing up right now with people who are thinking this game should have been over about an hour and a half ago.
So now with the ball placed at the 17-yard line, they will once again go for a 2-point conversion and then give the football back to Western Michigan.
Yeah, Coach, draw up your best 18-yard 2-point conversion play. What do you got? Here's what I got. Where's 83 or where's number 8? And I'm just throwing it up in the air and letting those guys go make a play.
Anderson's looking that way, lofts it up. Fight for the football.
Come on. Oh, I thought he had it.
Incomplete. Antonio Nunn, the redshirt freshman from Tampa, looked for a moment like he might have that football.
You watch much tennis, Doug Sherman?
Yeah.
You know how, like, if you're serving and your opponent breaks you? This is like the first break.
Yeah, that's good.
Because you missed the 2-point conversion. It's the first chance really here for somebody to take advantage of it. I'm a huge Wimbledon fan. I like to watch the majors, the Grand Slams.
How about the U.S. Open on the women's side this year? All 4 semifinalists from the States, and that didn't count Serena.
It was a lot of fun to watch.
All right, Western Michigan, 1st and 10 in overtime number 5. What does Wasink have in his bag of tricks? Handed off to Franklin. Buffalo was ready for it, strung the play out, and ran him out of bounds after no gain.
Bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Bulls for the Western Michigan and the Bulls 25.
The redshirt sophomore quarterback out of Grand Rapids. Screen pass left side to Eskridge. And Dwayne Eskridge gets inside the 15-yard line. And that's good enough for a first down.
I think this game's been so long, the guys have been able to leave the game with injury, go get treatment, get in the ice tub, hot tub, contrast bath, do whatever it takes to get back on the field. Because remember, Eskridge left the game earlier, and now he's back in the 5th overtime.
If you suffered a broken bone in the first quarter, it would be healed by now.
It might be.
Jarvion Franklin spins inside the 10. Boy, you rarely bring him down on first contact.
We got to give some love to the big hogs up front on that Western Michigan offensive line. John Kenoy, Luke Jariga, big 75.
You got Mike Caliendo.
And those guys, they just really walled that off for that first down run for Franklin to pick up 8 yards. That was easy.
2nd and 2. Franklin picks his way into the end zone. Tied once again, 59 apiece. So now what 2-point play do you go to?
Timeout, Western Michigan.
Well, you've already thrown to your quarterback. Okay. You've already had a wildcat reverse throw. Lester's diving deep. into the bag of tricks to figure out something here to try and get the victory. I mean, this is literally a walk-off situation. You convert this, you're going home a winner. If not, we're going to our 6th overtime today. And I got to say, if I'm Buffalo, I'm going to get out here on the field. I'm going to see what Western Michigan does and see what they line up in. Then I'm going to call timeout. I'm not only going to call timeout because I'm going to see what formation they came out in, but I'm also going to get my guys a little bit more rest because I know that I've just got to get my guys rested up for one snap of the football. Can't take the timeout with you.
That was the 50th career touchdown for Jarvion Franklin. Now the 2-point conversion.
I'm surprised they're not going to use it.
Ricci in motion. They'll go to Franklin, and he won't get to the end zone.
Well, partner, let's get some 5-hour energies or something, some Red Bulls.
Didn't you say you spilled the one you had earlier?
I had one, but I lost it. So we may have to send June, our stage manager, down to get some Red Bulls because we are locked and loaded for our 6th overtime. Wow.
Well, Western Michigan in its 3-game winning streak has been averaging 47 points per game. That number is just going to keep going up.
Well, I think this game is the epitome of what Maction is all about. When that hashtag took on a different life, gosh, I don't know, 7 years ago or whatever it was with the midweek Maction, and everyone loved watching all these high-tempo, up-tempo offenses and all that. And, boy, this game has had everything. We've had reverse passes. We've had family members running onto the field to celebrate with their brother as they made a touchdown catch. I mean, there's so many things in this game that I've never seen before.
And it's now the longest game officially for both of these programs. So now Wasink and the Broncos offense back onto the field. Franklin.
Guess who makes the tackle? Look at number 4, Khalil Hodge.
Didn't make the tackle.
Excuse me.
Franklin's still going. Franklin's still going. That play should have been stopped at the line of scrimmage, and he winds up picking up 18 yards.
I'm sorry to jump in. I thought Hodge had the tackle for no gain. Watch number 4. He cut knifes in there. This is, you got him on the ground. You got to wrap up, and then Franklin just takes off and says, "You're not getting me on the ground. I don't care if this is a 6th or 7th or 8th overtime. I'm running like it's the first quarter."
Remember how I just said rarely the first guy brings him down? Took about 11 guys to bring him down that time.
Maybe they're happy they didn't have to run him in the first quarter.
Yeah, truly he should be fresher than everybody else. Lobs it up. A little too strong for Keyshawn Watson.
I'm not sure what the closest hospital is, but I'd imagine there may be some IVs needed after this game because these guys have just been, I'm tired watching them.
They have given their all. There's no question about that. On a warm and muggy night here in Buffalo.
Yeah, you're right. It's not like this is a fall 60-degree beautiful day. This is hot, humid out there.
It was 79 degrees at kickoff at 3:45 this afternoon. Wasink tiptoes his way to the 5 and then gets drilled. Now airing on ESPN3 is Cincinnati home against 25th ranked UCF. They've gotten underway on ESPN3, and as soon as we wrap up here in Buffalo, we'll get you to Cincinnati.
We've already had some Bearcat fans tweeting us saying, "Can you end the game? We want to watch our Bearcats."
Well, this is the longest game in the history of the Mid-American Conference. 3rd down. They've got 2 plays to pick up 5 yards. Will this play do it? Indeed it does. What a catch by Watson.
It's like every single possession somebody decides, I want to top the catch from the previous possession. Keyshawn Watson, 13 in the slot, runs a corner route. He beats the safety, 22, Tim Roberts, and Roberts is coming in. I thought he was going to get this ball out. We'll double check to see if he maintains possession all the way through the catch. He watches the hand of Roberts comes in. I'm not sure if there's a great look that's going to overturn that, but
I think he had it.
Man,
I do think he secured it with that left hand, and it never seemed to come loose. And Roberts was all over him.
so Watson, a guy who is he's in the mix. He's probably like the 4th receiver for Western Michigan, has come up big in overtime, throws a touchdown pass, and now comes up with one himself on the receiving end.
Watson escapes the rush. Can't escape it the second time. Great pursuit from behind. Ishmael Hargrove on the tackle.
The ruling on the field is the try is no good.
So that leaves the door open now on the other side for a touchdown and a 2-point conversion that could end it.
Great pursuit by Ishmael Hargrove, but it was all set up by the pass rush off the end from 41 Jared Franklin. Both of those guys were starters last year at the will linebacker position, so this year they're kind of rotating, but on that play they're both in the game. Franklin comes off the edge, doesn't make the sack, but Hargrove never gives up on the play and chases it down from behind. So now Buffalo with a chance.
Now the all-time Western Michigan record for total yards of offense, 625 in last year's game against Buffalo in that snowstorm out in Kalamazoo. Play action. Anderson.
Pass interference.
There you go.
Darius Phillips.
Now Kamadi Holsey.
Remember, Holsey went down the last overtime. Should have caught a touchdown.
Number 4, defense. 15 yards, automatic first down.
And look, at this point in the game, you're so tired as a defensive back. You've been running around with these dudes all day. And for Buffalo, they're just going to take shots. Holsey up top. Look at Darius Phillips. Good offhand jam, but then he gets caught up. He needs to turn that head around earlier. If he does, probably doesn't get called, but instead he gets the pass interference call because he doesn't turn the head around early enough.
Well, if I had told you there was going to be over 120 points scored in the game and Phillips wouldn't have had one of them, would you have believed it?
No.
He has been
There's still time left, buddy.
fairly quiet. On first down. Anderson, wide open receiver over the middle. Still fighting at the 2-yard line. Where do these guys find the energy in reserve? Although again, Cameron Pickett, the 4th string running back for Buffalo, has not played the entire game. Perhaps he's a little fresher than some of the other guys out there. Buffalo's offensive line rushes up to the football. Didn't catch Western Michigan napping as Pickett has nowhere to run.
Just can't imagine the feeling of being out there and so exhausting, you know, playing to near exhaustion in a game like this. I mean, I'm actually surprised, Doug, that we haven't seen more guys leave the game with cramps.
Right.
Kudos to the training staffs of these programs for keeping these guys hydrated because they have not really held the game up with cramps.
Drew Anderson pulls the football down.
He's going to run it.
He's going to run and get in. 65. Now Buffalo has one more chance to try and win it with a 2-point conversion.
Folks, that's not Tyree Jackson, your typical starting quarterback who is a runner. This is your backup. 2nd career start in the 6th overtime. He wanted to find his tight end, Mabry, in the flat. He was covered up. Instead, he just steps up in the pocket. There's a wide open void. Watch Spillane. Spillane is going to get outside, starts to rush. These guys are all just so exhausted right now. And Anderson just steps up and runs in. And I think you're pretty happy, huh? 585 yards, 7 touchdown passes, and now you run for one. This guy's accounted for 8 touchdowns in this game. Oh, and he also caught a 2-point conversion. Excuse me.
For the win. Drew Anderson running for his life, and he's dropped.
We're not going home.
Nope. Well, bless these kids out on that football field. They have been giving it their all. And we are playing on some more. 65-65. Well, UCF has scored a touchdown in Cincinnati on the game originally scheduled to start here on ESPNU, but because of this historic game that we're in the midst of here in Buffalo, that game is airing now only on ESPN3, but UCF has scored first against Cincinnati. We'll get you out there just as soon as this one wraps up, assuming it wraps up.
Do they have curfew?
UB will start this 7th overtime.
That's Saturday.
First
Yeah.
and 10 at the Western Michigan 25.
I'm out of jokes.
Well, this is the first time in 11 years, partner, any NCAA game has gone to a 7th overtime. Osborne on the reception.
Well, Osborne's had himself a day, and most of it has come in the overtime periods. He has 6 catches for 129 yards and 3 touchdowns. 7 overtime. 7. He knows it.
Pickett able to pick up the first down. Pile continues to move down near the 10. Western Michigan comes away from the pile with the football. It's Eric Asua, but the whistle had blown.
Pickett on the carry for the Bulls.
And there you can read the lips of Coach
Ruling
Lester.
on the
No,
field
it
as
wasn't
progress
blown.
was stopped. First down.
Well, they're not going to be able to review that. If they blew the whistle, they said progress had stopped. And that's a break. I mean, somebody's going to make a mistake. At some point in this game, in the 7th overtime, someone's going to turn it over. We already saw the one fumble. You thought when Theo Anderson fumbled it and Western had a shot to win it on a field goal, I thought that'd be the game, and it was not the case.
Anderson throws a bullet. Johnson unable to pull it in.
Again, a lot of contact there. Anthony Johnson working against Obi Jackson. Obi Jackson's getting his money's worth tonight. I mean, they are going at him nearly every play, whether it's Phillips on the other side. Phillips is the best corner. He's the guy that's probably going to get drafted. They're saying 2nd, 3rd round right now is a chance to move maybe into the late 1st round if he has a good season. But Obi Jackson, Sam Beal must be out with an injury because Jackson's been getting most of the work.
On 2nd down, able to hook up with Tyler Mabry, but his momentum was heading in the wrong direction to get any yards after the catch. And that'll bring up 3rd down. They've got to get down inside the 2-yard line.
3rd and 7 for the Bulls
In order to get a fresh set of downs.
And what's Lance Leipold thinking right now?
He's thinking, it's been a long day. It was about 9 hours ago that ESPN play-by-play guy came into my office and interrupted me before we were trying to put the shovels into the ground for the building of the new practice facility. Pass deflected away. No laundry on the field, and so Rucker, the Iowa transfer, makes the defensive play.
Well, this will be our first field goal try on the first possession in overtime. It's Adam Mitchison, who's been a pretty good kicker for Buffalo throughout his career, the junior out of Pittsburgh.
Adam Mitchison in to attempt a 25-yard field goal.
Just a 25-yard field goal with the wind at his back.
The way this game has gone, this thing's getting blocked and going back for 2. Kidding. Great kick.
The field goal is good.
Well, Western's got a shot.
So you're saying there's a shot?
So you're saying there's a chance? Yeah, like 1 in a million. How many Dumb and Dumber references can we get in? We're getting like punch drunk. 7th overtime.
All right, so down 3.
Well, this is where Buffalo and Khalil Hodge, the center, the captain of that defense, the middle linebacker, got to rally the troops. Got to get your guys to come up with a stop and have a chance to win this game, because Western's really had their way running the ball with Jarvion Franklin.
And that is Franklin on first down. There was contact almost immediately upon taking that handoff. Justin Brandon, the junior defensive tackle out of Davis High School in Indianapolis. He is quick and strong and able to stop Franklin on that one. Quarterback keeper. Wasink. Big pickup for a first down. A touchdown will win it for the Broncos. Ryan Williamson on the stop there to make sure Wasink didn't get in.
Get read option. Wasink reads the defensive end. He bites down on the play, and then he pulls it out and runs for the first down. Easy play, good design, and good vision by John Wasink.
First and 10 from the 11 in the 7th overtime. Franklin had nowhere to go.
Boy, I think that 77, the left tackle, Court I think he got away with a hold. You can hear from our booth lots of Buffalo fans screaming out there was a hold. I thought that 41 Jarrett Franklin made it in the backfield, and his jersey got turned as he was grabbed as he was trying to make a tackle on Franklin.
Franklin to the end zone. He's in for a touchdown, and Western Michigan. Well, they take the lead. The Broncos from the sideline started running out onto the field, but then the get-back coaches got them back.
Ruling on the field is a touchdown. Play is confirmed. Game is over.
Game's
Game is
over.
We can all go home. What
Final.
a game.
Wow. 71-68. Western Michigan has won its 4th in a row. This should count for 2 wins.
Well, listen, somebody had to win this game. But you look at both of these squads, they fought their hearts out, especially the quarterback of Buffalo. I give him so much credit. His second career start, the backup starting for Tyree Jackson. He got his first start last week against Kent State, and this guy comes out. What's he do? 35 for 61 for 597 yards and 7 touchdown passes without throwing an interception. Just a brilliant performance from him. Kudos to Western Michigan. The Broncos, they fought their hearts out too. Jarvion Franklin was a hero, 37 carries for $176. I thought this game wasn't going to end. Somebody had to win, and the Broncos, they pull it out.
The longest game in 11 years in college football goes to Western Michigan. In 7 overtimes, 71-68, the Broncos take down Buffalo. Partner, it's been fun. Go get some rest. Go get something to eat. Now we'll send you out to Nippert Stadium in Cincinnati, where the Bearcats are taking on UCF here on ESPNU. So long from Buffalo, New York, on a historic night.